stay in 45. You will be our silent eye.
Hello, and welcome back to the PSU LCS, where we're here for Week 1 Blue Conference this time around. Have Monarchs versus Team Lethality starting up here in just a few minutes. Sorry for the delay, just working some stuff out. A lot of new players in the system, a lot of new captains as well, so figuring out how to set up these first few matches just takes a little bit more time than expected. As we should be getting into draft here in just a second or two.
I still think it's insane how we actually have two separate conferences for this. Just that many people actually signed up for this. That we can have two separate conferences of basically the amount of teams we would have normally during the PSU LCS season. And that's amazing to me, really. And I look forward to all the fun that's going to be had because of all this.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun is the name of the game here in fall. Both start with the same letter for a reason.
Really?
It's my job to do terrible puns, so
Yeah,
we're
fair
gonna
enough.
keep at it. It's the whole point.
Fair enough.
The freak school of play-by-play casting is, generally
Ah,
speaking, just make poor puns
oh man.
as much as possible. We are getting into game draft now. This has already been decided previously. They did do the external LOL draft, I think is the new system that's called. Unfortunately, we do not have a graphic for that yet made, but
What happens when we
those
spend the
are,
last 2 years in
yeah, doing
pro
pro
draft?
draft, and then we finally switch systems over.
And then we get into a much cleaner looking system, admittedly speaking.
True. It's just gonna take a bit of a time to go through the motions, and I mean that's more my job getting the graphic out. But once that's done, should be able to show you guys that one.
Yeah.
First off, though, bands coming through here. TL deciding to take away the Zed, the Akali, and the Jax. Definitely a bit more of a solo queue style of bands here for round one. Not taking
That's
any of those like
unfair. Team
super.
Lethality banned a lethality champion. That shouldn't be allowed.
It's off color.
What if we wanted to be the lethality?
Yeah, and then Arc going kind of with the opposite approach, banning with the Shen, the Sejuani, two picks that are generally in historic, very highly played in the PSU LCS as supportive kind of champions to really help teams do for team fighting stuff. Again, as a reminder, this is not the actual LCS. These are not semi-pro or even amateur teams. This is a conglomeration of people from all ranks, all walks of the ladder.
So Comfort.
Yep, comfort,
Basically,
team fighting, simple, easy execution. That is the name of the game.
and it just so happens that a lot of Comfort picks tend to be shared amongst a lot of PSU LCS players. Because we see Yasuo here already. Everyone loves to play a good Yasuo, so there's really nothing much leading out from that end. As because we did do the external drafting, everyone's just picking their champions. This isn't the actual order in which the draft went through. So if you're like, oh, how did this champion get through the second ban phase if you already see this? That's why, because they weren't actually through the second ban phase. It might have been first pick.
Absolutely. I mean, that does have certainly impact. We don't get to see the nice draft technicalities that we normally would when you do get to see all the picks lined up and out there for you. But we do get to see the final product.
Yep.
And it is certainly, if you're looking at team fighting, I think we have a very clear winner here, Soccer Wars. This is...
Yeah. But
holy moly.
Consider that Explode My Clone, which I am like 99.9% sure is a Shaco main name, is on the Shaco. And as we just went over, comfort exceeds all when it comes to the PSU LCS. So, and it is also a Shaco, and we all know how annoying a Shaco can be. So anything's possible after this, even though there is the classic Diana-Yasuo combination that we saw a lot in pro play a bit when Diana was very meta in the jungle.
Yep, certainly so. For those unacquainted, you do get, with the Diana Moonfall, you get the knock up off the suck from the AoE. You also can then use Last Breath, get an entirely large ultimate, and secure all of those members in place for Diana's second damage proc, which is really where the champion comes to shine. The other nice thing I like about Team Lethality from what they have going up here is Diana, despite being a very, very good AoE team fighter that rewards you for going for those really big, like 4 or 5-man ultimates, you do end up having a little bit of a problem if you're going in first. We saw this a lot of time with people like CLG and some other teams who weren't super great on the pick, trying to have the Diana be their initiation, and then, you know, someone presses Zani's Hourglass, the Diana explodes, and then the team fight's kind of lost without any follow-up. But we have other sources of engage that are good primary engage. For one, Ornn, non-committal engage with the Call of the Forge God to really kick stuff off, as well as Rakan, who can operate as both that secondary follow-up engage with the quickness, with the grand entrance, as well as being primary engage if he has something like a flank to work off of, where he can really get some good, very long-range deep dives onto the backline for Cosmic Badger especially is definitely going to be a target for Purist in this matchup. So,
and
tons and tons of options here for TL.
That Rakan here can definitely play sort of counter-engage, because if you look, there's the Aurelia and arguably even Shaco, and then Set, if he gets a big suplex into the team, Aurelia and Shaco are going to be jumping, and then Rakan can get the quickness and then the grand entrance, and then just have everyone CC it, and then if they're all grouped up together, that's a lot of free damage for Xayah with not only the passive, but the Q also did get recently buffed to be a lot faster with more attack speed. So, and then they're all lined up for the feathers, which is even more CC, and then Xayah's just dealing all that damage. And it's good that you had mentioned the Ornn with non-committal engage. It allows Diana to be a secondary engage, and then that in turn allows Rakan to be able to play a bit more defensive, help out Xayah when a lot of these big divers like Aurelia and the Set are just going to be trying to get on to the Xayah. Which then brings up the fact that Xayah's not the only carry in this game. Whenever you see a Yasuo, you know, as soon as they get that Shield Bow Infinity Edge, they're massive damage. And even Diana can do a lot if she gets a lot of the early kills and gets fed on her own with, I believe the build is Proto Belt.
Proto Belt would be the more professional style build. The Solo Q build is the Rift Maker into Nashor's Tooth, which is just a ton of damage and sustain, but I don't think that's even preferred in the solo. If this was a solo Q 5v5,
that's better for the flip push Diana.
Yes,
Which
certainly so.
I don't think we'll be seeing. considering they've literally picked Diana Yasuo
Yeah. Yep.
for what it's worth.
Certainly should be a very interesting game. I mean, we have a lot of different tools here from both sides to test out. I'm looking for Monarchs. This is a laning phase kind of game. You need set ahead. You need Irelia ahead, and you definitely want your bot lane to be somewhat viable, because once you get to team fight stage, it's certainly going to be hard to play with all the CC, all the damage, and all the engage from the side of Team Lethality to deal with as we load on into game. Very fast load in time, actually. So we're going to catch back up real quick and switch over to the in-game screen.
It's going to be, like you had said at the start, it's going to be a lot based on team fighting, because that's just the easiest way to end up winning things. If you get a big team fight and you kill 5 people, then it's really obvious what you're supposed to do on the map.
Oh, 5 minutes. Just going to be found out here as they go through mid.
Yep. What a bind.
Yeah, definitely strong on the level
Basically,
1 side. Not sure what exactly is up with Yasuo there. It's a little bit of a spectator glitch, it would appear, with Guardian making them both semi-invisible. Thank you, Riot Games, for
gotta love the client, you know?
gotta love the, yep. So I guess Rakan and Yasuo permanently going to be in the Guardian proc animation for the entire game.
Good for Rakan. You know, maybe Zaya's been a toxic relationship. Who knows? Who knows
Diana
what's going
also
on?
currently invisible.
Everyone's invisible.
It's
Everyone from Team Lethality is invisible. They've all got Duskblade now.
absolutely
That's where the Team
outstanding.
Lethality comes from.
Yeah, well, some people on TL definitely need to pick up some items. PZ Zad, starting lane with nothing. We're going the itemless Yasuo for that early power spike.
True. You know, that also might be a spectator bug. Who knows?
I don't think so. The rest of the items are there. Set also doesn't have an item. Who knows? I'm just gonna try to.
I feel like
Let me play around the
because
timeline. Sometimes
good
there we
majority
go.
of
Okay.
them, yeah, I was gonna say
There we
because there's like half of the people who didn't have items, it was probably a spectator bug.
We fixed it up. We are going to get a little bit of lag. Sorry, nothing we can do about client lag. It's Penn State Internet. It's just how it's going to be here if we're a second or two behind.
Anyway, something interesting about this is that it is Unsealed Spellbook Morgana support. I've never seen that before, and I look forward to seeing how that's going to be going, because you can use it to, if you as the support, because your health is more valuable in laning phase.
Fighting goes wide. Grant Andrews finds his way on a cause back to the Black Shield already used on MAE, and that's a first blood for Purist with a flash forward as well. Initially being the Morgana to initiate, but instead going to be Lethality picking up the kill. That is not something you want to see early on in the one lane where you really are looking at for the side of Mark to kind of be stable in and try to hold their own as the rest of the team pushes ahead and top in mid lane.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things to consider about Xayah Rakan is that if they hit level 2, because the Xayah W also gives that attack speed buff to Rakan, they're actually really powerful in all ends. If we can recall back to, I believe it was Worlds 2018 or 20... It was probably 2019, because that's around when
Xayah was around for both of those worlds.
Well, yeah,
heavily.
But when was Hail of Blades around? Because there was the old, way early game tech with Hail of Blades Rakan. You just W start on both Xayah Rakan, and then you just snowball level 1 from there. So, they're deceptively powerful level 2 if you can manage to put them together. So...
Yep. So we're going to have a little bit of a scuffle in the river as Lord Mike Holmes found out. Good Q over the wall. He's going to stay out of harm's way.
Stay kill.
Ooh, possibly a drop here for Lord Niter. Yoga Lord finds Albert. Pull back in. The flash to secure. And Niter does grab the solo kill. Will fall, though, towards Riggy. Nothing much you can do about that one. Managed to trade for the 1-for-1 in a very perilous position. So not anything super terrible for the set. Has a TP to get back to lane. Good Black Shield here in the bot lane as well by MAE. Finds the Dark Binding in the troubles, but nothing too much else to be traded back thus far.
There's way too much fight. But that's one of my favorite set mechanics, being able to flash when you're in your Haymaker animation, you can't really adjust like the angle of it, but you can, if someone flashes away, you just flash up to them, which is what happens.
Lane game quick slow my clone has the box trying to put in, but they're trying to exit the lane. Starts fighting hits. Purist grabs one. Thank you, directed camera, for that amazing display. Tasheko already down. Ignite used, Cosmic Badger trying to kite back as Riggy joining the fray. It's very slow and delayed. The E flash connects from Riggy, and that's one. His mid lane. Possibly a slow kill on his ad. The Ignite's going down the shield. Buys some time, but Rekko able to pick up that one.
And there's a lot of action going on. This game starts off in the bot lane, and then we take a nice little stroll up top lane. Watch as Riggy gets involved up there to take a 1-for-1 trade, and then it just strolls all the way back down to bot lane, with Riggy again managing to pick up a kill on the Diana, and then the mid lane solo kill. Definitely not what you want to see in a Yasuo into Aurelia matchup where the Aurelia will just get a solo kill, because now Aurelia, once they recall and get some items, just becomes insanely powerful.
Yeah, champion's a little bit overtuned, most would say, at the moment. Definitely in need of some pullback.
Ban that champion every ranked game, yes.
Also true, but
I agree.
PZ's definitely going to be hurting here. Has his wave already in a bad position, so it's just going to fall further and further behind in CS as well.
Really rough, because
really hurts.
He's also a level down. Aurelia is level 6, and we see Shaco hovering in that Raptor camp. Yasuo gets too greedy, he will die again. Because the Aurelia, unless Yasuo can win while...
Going for the all-in here onto Jordan Floyd. The Unstoppable used a little bit late to annul the damage as the Summoner Spellbook TP top lane from MAE, but I think Jordan Floyd is already out of this one, so... Not really super sure of usage if it was going to time out or anything, but MAE going to be down that Summoner Spellbook.
No, I think he started with teleport.
So. Jordan on floor now opting in, seeing the junglers up top. Lord Niter, no ulti to be had. E connects from Riggy, has the pullback. Shield gonna do a little bit of work here, but now comes the call of the Ford God, finds the knockup, finds the kill for Riggy. And it's just too easy as now MAE, explode my clone here, find PZ Zad.
It is level 6 Yasuo. Oh, it's down.
Yep. And just had a little bit of weird timing there. Irelia not with the lane priority. Rekko instead staying mid lane and try to pick up some more CS.
And now, unfortunately, this leaves Ashe in the solo lane against Rakan Zaya, who are level 5 and probably relatively close to level 6. So, it's going to be turret plates going down. But Ashe
needs to be careful. Rekko looking for the solo kill once again. Has the Vanguard Edge, goes in with the Q, and that's going to be another easy kill in the mid lane. An assist actually picked up as well, so a little bit of gold generation courtesy of the Hawk shot. As MAE caught out, Purist.
The only way a Hawk shot can give assist is if you haven't seen the champion on normal vision. So it's probably like the very tail end of just a random Hawk shot into the jungle that spotted Yasuo like under turret where the minions couldn't see. So good call on Ashe to see the future in about 20 seconds for that play to get that assist money. Yeah, that's what you like to see.
Gives a little bit more gold back into bottom lane, which is not going the best. Already a plate secured here for the Zaya Rakan. 56 to 43 in CS difference. Has that tier 2 boot rush, not normally something we see on Zaya as much. Normally on Zaya, you really try to go for that early mythic completion.
You need your mythic and then a few other items for Zaya to really start dealing a lot of the damage.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how Fox again decides to build. Purist has been the recipient of the kills bot lane for the most part. 2-0 on the Rakan. The null magic rush also a bit interesting.
I'm not too sure what full Negatron builds into.
Niter looking for it on your floor, trying to look for the showstopper. Not gonna be able to find it though. Just the haymaker to connect. As Dragon actually to go over to the side of Arc. They really don't have much tools to deal with as Irelia as mid priority right now. So Riggy and company possibly giving it up. Still posturing around this river though.
That's something that's really good about the fact that your Aurelia has gotten good binding.
It's like a nice edge of is someone gonna pull the trigger and ends up being a walk away.
Now the thing about that is blue team can get the dragon because we know bot side for Team Lethality is stronger. They've got the kills. Rakan and Zaya all have their ultimates and all the summoners. And then little bit of headbutt into the wall just for fun.
Just for fun.
But blue side has their strong Aurelia, and their ulti was up. And when it comes to something like the dragon fight, an Aurelia is very much immediately stronger than...
Showstopper has the Haymaker as well. Niter calculating out that one. A bit too few many cooldowns by Yogurt on floor used to try to poke set off the tower. And, it's just giving him a bigger shield to dive you with, my guy. It's just not how you like to look.
And this tends to be how things against set go if you do opt into one of the tanks, as you can't really contest the wave because he can just punch you down, especially with the Conqueror stacking up. And then he just ease you onto the wave and then you're stunned.
Riggy,
and because he's fast...
Recco here, Zad finds the knockup, but no last breath so far. Vanguard's edge fighting back by the man, but it might not be enough damage as PZad now running away. Riggy in there as well. Explode my clone here as well as Lord Niter in the fray. Orin gonna deal with this now, but in the Shake clone, Ash Arrow finds its way across the map. Another easy assist, but no, the Guardian get by before time, and Riggy goes unstoppable. The Triumph helium back up. Are you kidding me? This guy will not die. Lord Niter now on the menu, and Riggy with a double kill. The roam from Purist saves the day, saves the fight, and turns what was possibly doomed into maybe even another kill as Fox again finds MAE. Grand Entrance not going to connect, flashes even with the Dark Binding. Purist still going to be fine here, has the Battle Dance still, I believe. Not even going to need to use it.
He's got that Negatron cloak. Stop that Morgana damage. Even though the turret definitely dealt way more. But really insane play from Pierce there on the Rakan, making the foresight call to roam all the way up there to help out the team, keeping Diana alive for arguably way longer than she deserved there. So it's always good.
Absolutely.
As that he was rushing the Mikhails because Zaya didn't go cleanse, and you really can't afford to get QSS on Zaya when you need so many different items. So foregoes the Mythic and gets Mikhails for that free get out of jail free card against a Binding or an Ash Arrow and Aurelia Stun, etc.
Yeah, definitely an interesting adaptation considering Fox again not
I think
opting
it's
into the
very
cleanse into
smart.
Ash Morgana.
I think it's very smart because you know, as the bot lane now, your entire goal is to just not give up your lead. And one of the best ways that an Ash Morgana could be getting back into it is just the CC chain of a Morg Binding
Blade
into
Thrower is
Ash.
used here, doesn't have the pullback just yet. Comment Badger gonna grab the Black Shield, but that means Pierce just gonna look for MAE. There goes the Feather Storm, another ulti from Riggy. Down comes the Badger, Blade Thrower doesn't find anything, and Pierce goes on the killing spree by himself. Here they kill, and I think a little bit of an overstep from Conjure Batter. MAE thought Purist was going for the reset, thought he was going for the roam. One of the two, and got caught off guard. Pushing up a little bit too far in lane.
It's one of those things
Recco.
where...
Never mind, knows the Feather Storm isn't used, but still doesn't want to pull the trigger just yet. Zad, mid lane. Knock up. Not going to take it, so it's just going to be trading.
Shaco, he would just... After the last breath animation, he would probably just Q out.
You just Q out before you also can get the guaranteed auto attack reset off with the armor pen, which is fine. Didn't know if Zod wanted to pull the trigger or not. Still a lot of pings in the bot lane here onto Purist. It's gonna be a little bit of a mini lane swap. Gonna throw Recco down in the bot lane here, which is a good move I think in my opinion. Trying to grab some CS from that bottom lane and send Cosmic Badger back to the mid lane to try to push this next wave in and deal with Yasuo from there. Still have to be careful he doesn't get inned on, but getting the XP and farm regardless.
I definitely
finds himself. Vanguard that's there. Purist immediately be callous. Gets the quickness, gets the charm. With the Blade Caller doesn't find Recco just yet. Purist on a rampage as a teleport as well. Coming in from Yogurt on floor. It's a party bot side. The resets come through, but it's not enough for the Irelia, and Recco will finally fall to Fox, getting pick up his second of the game, and that is pre-Dragon for the side of Team Lethality. Meanwhile, Monarchs just going to have to settle with Lord Niter, no TP available, pushing up his top lane turret, trying to secure
Punching that turret down. I was going to say that sending the Aurelia against the duo lane is very smart because you are Aurelia and you do have a lot of kill pressure despite being in the 2v1. But that Mikhail's Rush already putting in work as Rakan gets second most kills on his team.
Yep.
There does go for the Bandle Glass Mirror, so we're not going to be seeing Proto Belt Rakan, which I would have done if I had the 4 kills. But, I mean...
The Proto Belt Rakan, that is, when you just say, screw my team, I am the carry now. Thank you very much.
Well, if you got the 4 kills, you might as well. Not like you need more... What? Surely
I don't
there
know,
needs
man.
to be
Some
more
of those
AP
support
damage.
mythics are pretty good.
Yeah. Shirelia's is way too good with a team that wants to engage a lot.
Yep.
Which, if you have Diana and Yasuo, you want to engage a
MAE.
lot.
And Explode My Clone possibly in trouble here. Lord Niter in the area. Grand Entrance doesn't
I
find
don't know.
Explode My Clone. Good ultimate and a good Q to get away. Double knockback. Finds the stun. 2-man in. There's the combo as Yasuo goes through. Lord Niter finding a showstopper onto PC Rad, but Ziggy already fighting the enemy jungler. Shutdown though coming through onto Purist. Lord Niter around. Ash ulti blocked by way of Yogurt on floor, and now it is a turntail and run for Monarchs. Rekko barely with any HP left gets himself over the wall. Rift Herald, I believe, incidentally started up in the commotion.
You
And
know,
once again,
all things considered, it was a 1-for-1, but Rakan died, and Rakan had a shutdown.
yeah.
So it is some good money into the pocket of, I believe, Lord Niter got that shutdown.
Yes.
So, if the set can become a tanky, man, he's got the Gore Drinker, he's most assuredly going for stacks next because that's what every top lane cruiser builds. As, I don't, I'll have to confer with my Yasuo main friends about the Mortal Reminder rush into Aurelia. But it does limit him. He's not going to have Shield Bow for quite some time now.
I feel like you just rush Shield Bow regardless and try to match healing. If you need to sit on Grievous, sit on the Executioner.
At this point, Yasuo's not really the big carry in the team, so I think it's fine. Like, if this were, like, okay, all things considered, for the 7-kill lead, it's only about 2,000 bordering on 3,000 gold, so it's not the worst thing that could happen.
Good Feather Storm to dodge the Vanguard's edge of the damage. Explode My Clone not able to do anything here as Riggy going forward. Quickness Flash comes through. I'm not sure if he's a necessary fuck a great job on the Blade Caller, but ooh, tricky reset from Riggy to get out of the turret aggro as MAE.
How broken is stopwatch though? If Diana didn't have
I had a
Zanya,
dollar
not
for
even
every time I
stopwatch.
heard that comment.
She bought the full hourglass. I'm not allowed to complain for that one. That's my bad. I just assumed stopwatch because I'm not expecting Diana to have 2 completed items at 18 minutes. But
Yeah, 8-0.
she is legendary.
Yeah, 8-0 is a lot of gold. 10 stacks of
And-
Darksteel looking for that scrapbook to come through. Yeah.
Ooh, I hope we get the scrapbook.
3,000 gold up. Over
Yeah.
Explode by Clone. Now, a lot of this is negated. That's why we're only seeing
I think
3K
I
gold lead,
think
4K gold lead.
They're taking Explode My Clone a bit too literally, because not only do they do that, but then they also explode him as well. And then he's also dead. So it's not the best kind of trade, realistically.
So still, actually, most of Riggy's lead over Explode by Clone being made up here in the top lane. 1,700 gold difference there as well.
Yeah. The
So-
good news is that the solo laners for Blue's side are indeed up.
Yeah, both ahead
and
is a substantial amount of gold, about the same 1,700 over each. The bot lane making the difference here with 2K.
And it's
between
only gonna get
Mageddon.
worse for Ornn into set, and then once Aurelia gets a few more items, it's just gonna be way worse. So there is hope. There is indeed hope, as I don't believe that third Infernal Dragon, which would be the second for either team, is really worth fighting over if you're the blue side. You just want to try to push these waves, get some of the standing gold.
Try to get
that's on the map.
some of these towers, send
yeah.
Lord Niter up
Like,
this tier 2.
It's second dragon for Team Lethality. That's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, especially considering it's at 20 minutes, give or 1930, which means you still have a good 12 minutes before potential, or 6 minutes before potential soul fight.
Yeah.
So
Well, definitely maybe send Explode My Clone for the steal attempt. It is Shaco. You know,
yeah,
he's a tricky son of a gun. He's in the pit, goes for it, and gets the steal in true Shaco fashion. He will.
I got baited because I thought the clone just walking right by the Yasuo was the real one, but I guess I got Shaco'd.
Yeah,
and
you got
I
you were
think
fooled, as was the rest of Team Lethality.
I got baited, and that is what I would consider a.
Ooh, Fox get it. Gale Force away, but still gets hit. Good. Featherstorm to get away from now. Charm and Grand Entrance both connect. Rekko looking for it, can't find the kill, and Fox again and goes on a rampage.
I think Riggy's psychic. Every time something happens, they're just there.
You're gonna floor. No flash available here for the Ornn. Does have the E to try to get away from now. Lord Niter though still with the showstopper, gets on their turret. The unstoppable comes through. Lord Niter though has the haymaker, and it's gonna pace the bank. So you got another 300 plus that top lane tier 2.
Yeah, that is very strong. And normally in cases like that, you want to haymaker them backwards so they can't get under your turret, but you're set. You love taking the turret damage, especially against an Ornn who's not really going to be dealing with a lot of damage to you anyway. The turret will ramp up your big true damage haymaker, and Ornn can't really walk out of it that well. He's got little stubby legs. He's not the fastest mover out there.
Exactly.
And now the set should be doing the split push. He should be the one in the side lanes trying to get a lot of these turret in the standing goals for his team. Because Ornn can't really fight against that. There is no way Yasuo can beat that with only the Mortal Reminder and not the shield bow left. If you'd want to do that, you'd need to send either your duo lane or the Diana, which if you're sending your Diana against the set, there's 90% of your big teamfight damage and teamfight setup.
And even hurting the split push more, Yoga on floor a very early TP to join this mid lane fray. I think he was expecting it possible for the dive on Riggy after the flawless duet hit from Rekko, but
now Set does have the Sterax and the Gourd Drinker, and he's
flash forward, finds 2, causing Badger grabs the flash away from now. The arrow does connect. Grand Entrance still gonna find him as well. MAE chains on the Purist, stun comes through. Zonya's from Riggy to dodge out of a lot more follow-up from Explode My Clone. And it does end up being no death.
That's just a really good disengage. Really good splash from Cosmic Badger to get out of there, and then manages to keep the Black Shield for the Rakan engage after using it to dodge the initial Diana pull-in. Really good Zonias from Morgana as well to get the stun, and then Explode My Clone. Get your F's in chat for the Shaco clone there, sacrificing himself to keep the rest of the team alive. Yeah, it's about 23 minutes. You're ahead about 5,000 gold. I have a 6 damage.
Yep, this is one good way to accelerate the game for free when you are the better of the 2 team fighters. Baron Nash is certainly a good way to do it.
And it's gone.
Yeah,
no cheeky Shaco this time.
Ooh! Backstop for Purist. It is just a support he can try to get out with the Grand Entrance, but he's going to be showstoppered in place. Explode My Clone grabs that with a blue smite kill. It's one Baron down. It's on the support though, so it shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. The support
was gonna. If you really wanted that to matter, you'd need to get it on both Zaya and Rakan because they're basically gonna be glued to each other anyway.
Yep.
When it comes to a pushing, because now that you have the Baron, the Ornn, what he can do is he can like sit back.
Yeah, no play-by-play we had there. That is what we call a one-shot. Good old deal on the ring to try to disengage for now. Reset though is there. Cosmic Badger just running away into nothing. That does fall finally over to PZAD. Fox again just kind of mopping up what kills he can from Riggy auto attack people to death with the Nash's Tooth build.
Alright, I got no scrapbook though. I would have bought
I think you go scrapbook next for sure.
But as I was going to be saying before the gold lead ballooned to about 9,000, that one of the good things about having Baron when you are a tank and you're losing the top lane matchup is you just sit back. Whenever a cannon minion shows up, you sit just enough in range for it to get buffed up by the Baron and start kabooming on the towers.
Yep.
You can just sit back.
Goodbye, MAE. Black Shield not going to do anything versus this Diana. That shield is popped immediately. Explode my going to try to get away with the ultimate, but Fox again chooses wisely with the auto attack, so that is assuredly not going to be stolen this time as the 4th dragon of the game. Going to spawn up, of course. Not that terribly of a loss for Monarchs.
Yeah.
Only 2nd
And
dragon
then
for the opponent.
this is where we're getting to the point where I like to call the losing team paradox. And I just came up with this right now. It's the fact that when you're losing, most of the time when you do get caught out, if it's not in a big team fight, it's because you don't have vision anywhere. We saw it with Morgana and Shaco down there. There was relatively no vision that wasn't contested from Team Lethality in the jungle. So, your only option stat is either say, we don't have vision in the jungle, I guess we just can't go here, or you try and get the vision. And the enemy team can do two things. They can either sit back and not be in the jungle and just let you take vision of your own jungle, which really isn't relevant, or they just sit there and kill you as you get the vision. So it's a lose-lose realistically either way for the losing team when you're this far behind that you can't safely get vision anywhere.
Yeah, and Team Lethality doing a pretty good job here trying to get these sweepers into the enemy jungle, start clearing some stuff out. They are missing the ward that is in that jungle brush just up the ways. I was hoping someone would sweep that, but no one's going to see it, so there's still vision for Monarchs back on the other side of their jungle here. They do see the dive coming in. Riggy gonna try to find an engage though. Dark binded under turret, pops his Guardian's Hourglass to try to get some Vanguards. It does connect on 2, but there's nowhere else the wreck can really go. There's the combo once again. Diana, all through Riggy goes legendary. Call the Forge Guard coming in from behind them. Team finds 3, but again, not really any follow-up. The dive is already concluded. And that will just be the disengage for Team Lethality.
And miraculously, blue side only escapes that with 1 death and the top lane turret still alive.
Yep. Ooh, flash by Lost Niter doesn't find the Haymaker. Riggy with a good flash follows BZAD in from behind, finds 1, looking for 2, but nope, the showstopper going to shut him down. Cosmic Badger looking for some more damage, but Riggy has the E-reset, the Gale Force under to execute. And that is 1 pop
That
clone.
was a dirty Gale Force. It had a mind of its own there, going right on.
Grand Enter the turret, Lord Enter finds 1, Haymaker looking for 2, might find another as Riggy's still taking turret. Set is 1 quite hard champion to dive, especially when this ahead. Riggy has another ultimate, the cooldown's already back up.
With the setups, though.
Oh, Yogurt on floor, getting right-clicked to death. Does have to burn the flash, and gets away.
That for a tier 1 top lane turret, you know?
All that for a single tier 1 top lane turret.
Yeah, realistically, Team Lethality doesn't need to be fighting for that at all. It's tier 1 top lane. It's really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. The fact that blue side managed to hold on for that long is admirable, but at this point it's just slapping them around with wallets. Because Diana's basically full build. If she would just upgrade to the scrapbook, it would be full build. And it is also about time for the Ornn items to be coming in.
Yep.
So,
upgrading
that
Gale
makes
Force.
your wallet even bigger.
Would probably like to see, I mean, Gale Force is totally fine on the 80 carry here, just Fox can some more damage. Probably would have liked to see Riggy's Proto Belt.
Okay,
come up
but
he's doing most of this team's damage at this point. Recco, yeah. Overextended there, buddy. As are you, BZAD. You have some help. Ornn coming through. Can't find any hits just yet. Charm doesn't make it on. Finally, the last breath comes through, but Fox again already had that kill secured. Clone once again popped. Now Kill My Clone interrupted on the blast cone. Does find the Q over the wall, so he's going to be able to skirt away from Yogurt on the floor.
Blast cone mechanics.
Yeah. Either way, though, probably going to be 2 inhibitors here and possibly just the push for end from Team Lethality. 12k gold in the lead.
I'd say you can push for the end here because you lost a good chunk of your ultimate, but you still have Diana ultimate.
Oh, Riggy, I think accidentally pressed the hourglass.
I mean, now maybe you can.
Diana up to under one, finds the knockdown as well, no haymaker, finally pops it, but it's not going to do the damage. Showstopper back onto an unstoppable target, because Lord Niter's just out. Never mind. It does do enough. Rekko, though, looking for it, finds the fullest win to PC. And he's going to be able to flash away for now. MAE going forward with the Ghost from the spellbook. Can't find a Dark Binding, can't find any chains. And it will just be the disengage. 2 inhibitors do go down, the Baron back on the map, and that means that's going to be the next focus for Team Lethality. The question, does Arc want to go and contest, or do they want to grab the Dragon? Pings onto both for both sides of the team. We'll have to see what they want to go. Either way, the Baron started up already by Team Lethality. Now this is a fine start so long as they secure it, because they're just delaying the soul even further. Explode by Clone, not going to be able to get inside. Does get clapped up. The Ash on the through, not going to matter. Black Shield as well, doesn't make any difference. The Dragon is secured, so soul point for the side of Monarchs. This might just be the end push with another kill. MAE, nowhere to go. Riggy, 14-0 on the hard carry Diana. And now it's a 3v5 with Baron up supers in the base. 2 strongest members of Monarchs alive, but can they make it work? Riggy going out to Cosmic Badger, who's already out of the fight. Riggy's unstoppable. Rekko finds Vanguard into the 3, doesn't have any other follow damage. Riggy's going very low, doesn't have his own up just yet. So he's very vulnerable. Yoga on the floor does go down, and as Purist and company do best, they take down the Aurelia one last time. And that's going to be the game. Very cleanly done here in the end. 17k, 16.2, the gold lead at the end as the Nexus falls. GG, well played for the side of Team Lethality.
Yeah, and realistically, that game was just a major snowball from the start in that bot lane kill, which just really snowballed all around the map, with Diana being in the right places at the right time. Basically every single time blue side wanted to make a fight, there was a Diana there, and if the Diana keeps getting those kills, Diana's gonna keep getting even more after that one. So
yeah, I mean, you guys can't see it on stream here, but the damage graph of this game, oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I
don't want to think about the damage
so here you go.
Game.
I will say this. If you exclude the outlier, nobody in the game did more than 18,000 damage in a 31-minute game, which isn't that high of damage numbers for a 30-plus minute game. If you include the outlier of Riggy to the mix, suddenly the highest damage member is 35,000 damage.
Almost double.
In a 31-minute game.
18,000.
Absolutely insane.
Absolute masterclass, realistically, on the Diana. Just normally you think, oh, the Diana is the enabler for the Yasuo. It's the AP jungler, which lets you play things like Yasuo or Yone or any other AD champion in the mid lane. But nope, Diana's like, I'll do it this time. I'll be the carry. And
I mean,
then,
that's one of her nicest things. That's why
everyone.
she was so popular in solo queues. She can just get into games, and once she's ahead, take over. There's just nothing you can really do once this champion gets going. From behind, significantly easier to deal with because you don't, instantly die if she presses R on you. In either fashion, very well done. I was saying it in game, like, interesting that we're getting the Gale Force upgrade first, because I feel like Riggy's doing a lot of the work in this game.
Well,
you come afterwards, it turns out Xayah was the sweeping cleanup to a lot of things that Diana managed to kick
Riggy around the second that Ornn hit level 14 and could upgrade? No.
No,
Xayah
but you can take that priority.
You have to think a bit. You see that you can give an Ornn upgrade. You just give it to the first person available. No need to be like, yeah, but Diana's really popping off. Oh, Xayah's right here. Sure.
You could have upgraded Diana's items.
The game realistically wasn't going to last much longer than that anyway. So you might as... It's like the consolation prize for Xayah. Don't worry, you get the upgrade first. It's okay.
the consolation prize. I think the consolation prize is being 7-8-0 or what have you on Xayah in that game is pretty impressive.
That too, But realistically, the game wasn't about the Zaya at all.
Very true.
When we think about it.
Although, again,
So-
us ripping on the Zaya having a lot of kills and not a lot of damage is not saying in any way that it was played poorly. It was actually very, very well played for a lot of those.
The fact that you
Irelia
can
engages,
go
a lot of good feather
a
storms and
game-
such.
A game like that with 0 deaths, regardless of if it was a stomp or not, it means one, that you played it really well, and two, you didn't play it stupidly. Because we all know those games where it's like 30-2, and then you want to limit test. You want to make those stupid plays, and then you die. The fact that you didn't do that
And
means
then
you're
you
playing with
die.
your brain.
Yeah, Zanya's Hourglass at like 7 minutes in the game does help out substantially with that one. I ain't gonna lie, Chief. Zanya's Hourglass, that really helps quite a bit.
Yep.
So,
Would make life easier when you can just press that button and survive everything. I agree.
certainly so, and we're just gonna have to wait around here for a little bit for the next lobby to be created so we can get in for game 2. We do have both these games to play here, but so far, gonna be the 1-0 take of game 1 for the side of Team
No
Lethality.
lethality necessary.
You're right. No lethality items were necessary. No one needed to build lethality, so they haven't even unleashed their true potential.
Just wait till they break out the 5 lethality comp.
Oh,
That's when they get the power.
I don't want to
spike.
see it. I'd prefer not. Thanks.
What would that
brain-
even be? Like, okay, Pike support,
Misfortune,
Pike Varus. Varus did get nerfed.
yeah, Varus too. Or you can go any assassin in the
Any
mid lane.
assassin?
Any
well,
assassin.
assassins build Gore Drinker now. Kiana. Well, no, because Kiana
I mean,
got the funny.
Zed can
targeting
still
change.
go a lot of stuff. Talon likes Prowler's
Not-
Claw a lot.
You could go Kha'Zix jungle, and
Kha'Zix
then
jungle?
GP top. Go the full
True.
glass
Do
cannon
the
GP.
yep.
Boom.
Do the lethality GP
There's
top.
your next comp, Team Lethality. If you're
Yep, there you
listening.
go. That is absolutely atrocious.
Wouldn't
Please, if you
recommend
want to
doing
win,
that
do not run that.
Until you get locked for playoffs. But I mean, if you feel like it, practice it. It might be better than you think.
I don't want to. I don't. Yeah, there should be another game. We're just waiting on lobby to be created. And then we get the invite to that. We'll have to go through draft and stuff again. So there's gonna be a few minutes of intermission here that we're gonna just hop off, play some music, do the whole
Refill our
streaming thing.
Drinks,
Yeah, drink more caffeine.
water for me.
Yeah,
But-
stay hydrated, kids. It's hot outside.
It's important.
Hydrate or die. I used to have that on a water bottle a long time ago.
Even we are getting out of the summer season, but hydration is still important.
Absolutely. So we're gonna take a little break here as we wait for game 2 to get booted up. Until then, we'll be still on stream here.
Enjoy the new
We'll get back to
Pentakill
you.
album.
Yeah, exactly. I'll keep
It's
playing the
really
Pentakill
good.
album. But yeah, just hang with us, guys. There is a game 2 to my knowledge, unless someone FF'd, which I don't think there's been any word of. So we'll see. Until then, next time, guys, we're gonna just hop onto intermission, and we'll be back for game 2 here, hopefully in just a few minutes.
Cause we must live on
All right, hello, and welcome back as we're getting into Game 2 of TL versus ARC. We're getting already into the pro draft, so
Yep.
you have to excuse me as this is more or less a half-finished system, but we'll get into the graphic here in just a few seconds. Just let me
We work with
change
what
some
we got
stuff.
here.
Yeah, I have to change some names
We are
around.
no strangers to skiff streams here at the PSU LCS.
Yeah, the positional names will not be on screen at the moment because they're a bit super scuffed, but the actual draft will, so you guys can at least see that much.
You guys will actively be, maybe you'll even be able to see what order everyone was picked in.
Yes, you will be
Woo.
able to see that. 1 second, this name did not display correctly. This is
Oh
what happens when
no.
you redo an entire thing.
Yep.
Red team should be. So just give me 1 second on that to make sure everything is working as intended.
But until we do get into the draft, I will say that Team Lethality, they banned Set and Aurelia, so the two solo laners that definitely gave them a bit of trouble in the first game. So realistically, they were looking to maybe smooth out the edges that they had throughout that game.
There we go. Okay, it's scuffed, but we're working with it, and that's enough for me.
Everything. We're all scuffed here.
It's all super scuffed as per usual. Just something to get used to if you're new to the stream.
And
It is always going to be NA quality. So
and for everyone to know that placeholder ban is meant to be Sejuani. It is just that pro draft, whatever. If it's related to League, there's gonna be something scuffed going on with it, regardless of if it's in client or out of client. That's just how it goes. But for Team Lethality, we see the Lethality champion.
the Zed. Yes. Has been cropping up more and more here. Our old guard veteran of the Zed pick,
It
Mr.
could be
Lazy.
Jungle Zed. That got buffed.
Jeez.
It could be.
Let's just not. How about that? I don't need to see that champion being played in more roles than mid lane. That's enough to worry about on my end of things, at least. However, first pick meant to be different here for Monarchs. Alistar is actually LeBlanc.
Ugh.
So we're gonna have to see here what's going on. They want to okay, we're getting a dodge. So we're having some technical difficulties on the Monarch side. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get a draft restart, so.
Yep.
So, we're gonna start up a new link here in a second. It's scuffed, you know, it happens. This is just
Not much we can.
how it goes. So we'll just
Not
go back
much
to
anyone
live.
can
We'll
really
just go back
do.
to live cam feed until we get to
Oh boy.
get to some new links up on screen. In the meantime, I can try to get some other stuff working with the graphics, which is always
So I asked this in Twitch chat.
okay.
What's your favorite Pentakill 3 song?
I don't know. I haven't listened to all of them yet. I've been kind of listening. I've actually been listening to them as we've been playing them for stream.
Just as you've been playing
So,
it for the way.
It's not to
the
spoil it
intermission.
for me, because what I'll do if I actually get into it and like start playing a song on repeat every time I stream, it's gonna get really old really fast. So I can't do that off the get go. It's just a bad move.
True. Now if I had that, I would just constantly be playing Redemption over and over. Not like I don't do that to myself, but to everyone else, because that song is amazing.
Fair enough. All right,
But no, it's real. I enjoy it.
So we're waiting on this one to get started. Hopefully this will be a little cleaner of a go around, as we don't have another awkward middle pause.
Yep.
In the meantime, though, I'm going to try to get some names together.
Oh boy, names.
This almost never works either, so we'll see. This is the patchworkgraphics.jpg. So, all right, just waiting on them to start up that, and I'll change the screen over. That is pretty much it. So just kind of waiting on the startup.
Yeah.
Yep.
So mostly just be waiting for that.
And once we get that stuff all going, should be good to go. We do have. Okay, we don't have anyone role swapping. I thought there was some talk of that before, but at least in LCS order, nothing apparent in role swaps. So we'll be just waiting on the draft to go. Nothing too interesting to talk about there. Is there anything you'd like to see in draft as we're getting into it? Just waiting now.
Realistically, I think one of the main things, it less so a draft, but more so just being able to respect what the enemy's team draft can do. Because as we saw from Monarchs, as we had brought up, they got hit by the level 2 Rakan Zaya, and then everything just sort of went from there. So I think the drafts were relatively fine. Like, you have presumably a one-trick Explode My Clone on their one-trick champion. So that's not the worst thing to see, especially with comfort. And Set's really good front line. Yeah, have Aurelia for really good dive potential. And Ash Morgana is great secondary engage to assist your team. So realistically, I don't think the draft is bad. I just think it's a matter of knowing when to play safe and when you are not able to make plays. Because that's something, it will take time. Because obviously this is still week 1. I feel like not a lot of teams have done many, like, hey, we're all online. Let's just go five man into like flex queue or something to really iron out some synergies and all. So first week is going to be a lot of experimenting.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And
a lot. I mean, this is probably one of the quickest years we've ever started PSU LCS up, following the actual draft. So,
so
uh,
it will be a lot of that within the first few weeks where you're trying to figure out what's the best way to be playing. Should we play around our mid lane or should we play around our top lane, our jungle, or AD and support? So it's going to take time for all of these things to work out. And I think it's always good to see when teams have a plan in draft because they had Ash Morgana, and that just says, okay, our bot lane's going to be sort of our backup. If they need to do engage, they can. If Morgana needs to help assist our bruisers, they can. If Ash needs to get vision for the jungler, she can. It'll be something like that, which I think is very important to see in these early weeks. It's a willingness to do sort of things. Maybe it's a bit differently than how you were playing solo queue, because obviously 5v5s in solo queue are insanely different.
yeah,
But
that is very fair for sure.
it's all about how you adapt, because we do get best of twos here, so we will be seeing
And
a lot of
it's just double round robin with some other like manual stuff. So we normally you'd play these games 2 separate weeks if it was the actual like LCS
but
format, but we don't
we
have
have
that kind
way
of
too many
time.
teams.
Well, we have too many teams. We have too little time to actually go and do
Yeah,
that with how scheduling works. Everyone has school, classes, all this other stuff. We are not going to be using Pro Draft here again for second draft. They're going
so
to do the draft
unfortunately
roll. We couldn't get the other one to work, so
Twitch
going
chat will
on to the
just
next
have
one.
to see our
Sorry,
faces
boys.
for a bit more.
That's all we got for there. So we're just going to take a little break then on our side of things because there's really not much to talk about because we don't want to
Oh
talk about
boy.
draft while you guys can't see it. So we'll be back here in another 4 to 5-ish minutes once they conclude draft, and then we'll be there to do the analysis part of it on this back end in the actual client draft. So
Yep,
we'll see you guys in just a few seconds, and hopefully this is the last time we have to do this. But
hopefully.
We will see.
Fellow armsmen, I ask you, will you follow me tonight to break their spine and reclaim what once was mine? Those cravens backstabbed me, deceived me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Oh, 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Oh, 15 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order.
All right, hello and welcome back for game 2. The scuffness continues as we are doing a blind pick for the actual draft, I guess. So, yeah, here are the teams. It's just done. It's done. We're done.
This is what we're working with here.
Yep. So we have for the side of Team Lethality, Dr. Mundo, Lilia, Zed, Jin, and Braum. And over the side of Monarch, Darius, Shaco once again, LeBlanc, Vayne, and Kha'Zix.
Perhaps the Kha'Zix and
I'm
Shaco
guessing
will be switching,
MAE.
and we'll have
I'm
AP
guessing
Shaco
Mayo.
support.
Is it Mayos? I don't know how that name's pronounced. Someone can tell me in chat and be mad at me for saying MAE. But going into the jungle and explode my clone, probably down in support. Is
Probably
if I
on
to,
the AP Shaco support, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to assume that's what's going down here. Now, if you want to know the bans, because we are in blind pick, bans were for Team Lethality. The first round of bans were Irelia, Set, and Akali. Monarchs banning out Shen, Diana, and Sejuani. And then round 2 bans were Jax and Aatrox for Lethality, Leona, and Ornn for Monarchs. So all those champions taken off the table for this game 2. Of course, as you can see on your screen, Team Lethality currently up 1-0.
Now,
it's just a double round robin, so this is the last game, regardless of if it's tied 1-1
regardless of if Monarch wins or not.
We don't have tiebreaker games, not yet.
Now, something about this draft, right? If we do some quick math, right? And do you want to count how much herd CC that Monarchs have?
So are we counting it by actual CC proc, or are we counting it by ability?
We're counting it by what would trigger Dr. Mundo's passive.
Okay, so you have Darius Pool, Shaco Box, LeBlanc Chain, Vayne Condemn.
And then Vayne Condemn.
And that's it.
So that's 4. That's 4 things that Dr. Mundo has to... Well, realistically, it's only 3 things he has to avoid, because he can dodge one of them for free with his passive. And Mundo will be able to just walk. Luckily, Monarchs have the Vayne, who will be able to shred the Mundo once she gets some items under her belt. So it's not the worst thing in the world. However, the problem is the Vayne's going to have to worry about getting jumped on by a Zed, any stray Braum Qs or Lilia, bowling balls down the middle of lanes.
Swirl Seed's a little bit less of a... I mean, yes, it allows Lilia to ult you, but it doesn't do as much damage, so you're not like losing half your health to a late game Swirl Seed.
But it still will have the potential to put you to sleep. And if you don't get QSS, sleep might as well be dead when there's an assassin.
Yeah, it definitely hurts. I wouldn't expect cleanse in this matchup either. Jin Braum, honestly, TL,
relatively
great
strong.
comp last game. This is a little bit of a troll in bot lane. I think this is... Braum just doesn't really make any sense.
That's why you go the Hail of Blades Braum tech. You Q once, you jump onto them, the 3 quick autos, they're stunned. Jin doesn't even have to do anything.
I see Hail of Blades Braum. This will be a continually evolving experience that I am just not prepared for on this day. It is not Hail of Blades Braum.
My friend swears by it. So.
It is not Hail of Blades Braum. We do not have to deal with that here. Thank goodness.
It is a bit sad.
We are going to hop over to game here in just a second. Here we go.
All right. We are indeed in the game.
Yep. Game 2 here. Team Lethality up 1-0. Looking for another win to secure themselves the second 2-0 of the season. The first in Blue Conference. And of course, for now, as there's only 2 games that have been played, taking that first seed, definitely something on everybody's minds. Try and keep themselves as close as they can for that race for playoffs that just seems so far away, but always comes down to those 1 or 2 games.
The thing is, the more you can get the nice 2-0 wins, or arguably even trading 1-for-1
It doesn't
early
matter.
on.
It doesn't matter this season. I think I know you're talking about the
Oh.
point system. It does not matter because we're doing a straight double round robin. This isn't Swiss like it used to be.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm
So
pretty
it's
sure
just-
Devin can
it's
flame
just
me in chat
wins.
if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it goes off record, and then
Yeah, so-
and then points is the tiebreaker.
But even then, getting 1-to-1 is still preferable to going 0-2
Yes,
because
1-to-1 is
it
always
affords
wins
you
are always good.
win.
Wins
Wow.
are always good.
Wins
Who would
are
have guessed?
always good. Never would have guessed that. Who would have ever guessed that winning in League of Legends is good?
Yep. Certainly not
we,
me.
we should be coaches with that kind of
Oh, jeez,
that
no,
kind of
we're not gonna
inspiration.
We're not gonna start with that. No,
But-
speculative ramblings on that one for me. Thank you very much. It's gonna be the bot side
Now-
start for both of these junglers, so
Yep.
should be double pathing top. I'm expecting full clears out of both, but
Yeah,
we'll have to see what
and-
Kha'Zix wants to do.
Now, the thing about playing with Shake's Sport is that he can start boxes, and it makes your jungler's life really easy, because Kha'Zix has basically taken absolutely no damage on his clear. And when you compare that to someone like Lilia, who she smited Krugs right now, so the point kind of moot, but we have to rely a lot on kiting around. It's a bit rough. And
You're gonna have
Speaking
four
of
in
rough-
trouble here. Lord Niter does have 4 stacks of the passive, so that bleed gonna do quite a bit. We
also,
having the glitch.
speaking of rough, is that LeBlanc already lost her passive.
Oh, Lord Niter level 2. E pullback just gonna grab the passive from Dr. Winius. Nothing else so far as of yet.
Nope.
And see, this is the kind of the problem with the Jinbra bot lane. I mean, you had 2 packs of stacks on Vayne, even though she had double.
Yeah, but
double
if it was
slow
Hail of
CC.
Blade Brown.
But if it was Beryl, a professional support player who has like
If it was
the tech and the
Beryl.
hands,
If it was Beryl, man who literally put his waifu into League of Legends, then
Hey,
yeah.
wins world championship. Why? What inspired you to be the best in the world? I wanted my
I wanted
waifu
to put
in
my
league.
waifu in the. I mean, I do it too.
That is
That's life goals right there.
not winning the
Now.
world championship. Screw that. Getting that sweet Leona skin.
Of course. But anyway, it is a full clear in both of the
Ooh,
jungles.
Yoga on floor, possibly going down here.
Oh,
The
that's
solo
the
kill imminent. The bleed stack's
doctor.
ticking down. Lord Niter once again grabbing the first blood up in top lane.
Now the problem when both junglers do full clear and they've started from the same area is that they will meet at the Scuttle Crab, and
Ooh,
unfortunately,
Purist has to be careful. Good use of the Guardian. I don't know heal totally necessary, but gonna keep Purist in lane at least. Oh. LeBlanc in a little bit of trouble.
and this is most likely, it's probably just going to be a trade of the Scuttle because Kha'Zix can't really walk there with pressure in both of the bottom
You
lanes.
say that, but he's gonna make his best effort to
He
get
got the
himself killed.
ward. Got a little bit of something there. But yeah, luckily it was a Scuttle trade. Kha'Zix got the top lane one, and Lilia got the bottom side one.
It had so much Darius Prio, it was pretty guaranteed. Interesting that
But-
Yoga on 4 actually didn't TP to that wave either. Can hold that
But
summon.
Kha'Zix, because they managed to full clear and he didn't have to worry about taking Scuttle, he can get his bottom side camps again before his reset, while Lilia has to recall already and walk back. She did get boots, so she will be pretty fast getting back. But it will...
Passive stacks are on. I don't think he has the kill potential here. No, has the Q. Yes, he does. Holy moly! I
How
didn't see
many
the second W
Darius
proc this
players do
slow.
we have at PSU LCS? We should know what Darius can do by now.
You should. It's new season, new items. Maybe
Darius
you're gonna
is
floor a
still the
little bit more
same.
regen than he might think. Is Rekko getting in here by Zod? Ignite down on the correct one. The flash forward to
Wow.
secure. And another solo kill. This time is the
And-
middle lane.
yep. Hey, all he had to do was pick a lethality champion. All I'm saying. So yeah, very good solo kill. And now, if I look at money, Zed will have enough to commence what we in the mid lane like to call the Dirk difference. It's when you're up against an AD assassin in the mid lane, they have a serrated Dirk, and you don't have Seekers or any other form of armor. And what this means is, you will die. A lot. It's very unfortunate for the mid lane champions, because it's just the Dirk diff.
Yep.
That's what I'm calling it. I'm coining that term.
Needs to take the reset to actually get it, so I'm just trying to shove it in this wave, but looks like he does have the option to call in Riggy if he really needs the assistance. Might just go for another kill, as he does have the death mark going on under the tower, has the return, doesn't find the Shuriken.
Really
the flash
good
from
flash.
Rekko.
It was a good flash from Rekko, but it was a bad decision to just go in there in the first place, because Zed is going to be level 6, and you're still a level 5 LeBlanc. You don't really have the kill pressure until you can get that very easy point-and-click Q, and then mimic Q, and then just an extra auto attack for the electrocute proc. Especially against the Zed, who can shadow around a lot, uses ulti to dodge a bunch of skill shots. But
Anyways, looking for the solo kill here, finds the change, goes with the distortion in, and now Zad in some trouble. No W to be had. The ignite ticking down. There's your second Q. Purist though here trying to save. Has he? Unbreakable, passive stacking, but there it comes.
That's a bit of an unfortunate flash as well.
Mayos, yep. Flash on the turn, they might have the kill, but they do! The isolation damage, but will it be traded back? Yes, he will. The ignite does take down as a big 2-for-1.
Importantly, though, it wasn't an assist for Zed. So...
Nope, no assist there on the Kazakhs.
Very importantly, Kazakhs got 2 of those kills. Which means he is going to be skyrocketed ahead. He will have his own Dirk difference now. Plus the Caulfield's Warhammer, so probably most likely go into the Duskblade as just a really well played walk up from the Kazakhs to get there in time as Zed's trying to run away from the LeBlanc. The Kazakhs can just show up and get himself a free kill.
Yep. Now it is the pretty egregious oversight by Pizzad to continue to allow that kill to be had a ton of gold on that back. I mean, finished the Dirk, got 2 more longswords in inventory for that next Caulfield, I would assume. So definitely could have just taken the reset and said when Green tried to go get some more vision, try to clear out some of the longswords, and Rekko had to take the level 6, had the ulti available, could look for the solo kill, had the ignite around, knew Zed doesn't have death mark.
Distortion is very dangerous onto a Zed, especially when the Zed doesn't have the ultimate to try to dodge out and force the LeBlanc to run away. But
Mayos just gonna use his bot lane pressure to push
the bot lane just wanted to walk up through River, you know. You don't really get to roam up as both a support and an AD carry, so it's a nice together time.
Together time, and Dragon gonna be sold out here by Mayos. I don't know if they don't have vision technically on where Lilia is, but no real contestability here from the side of Team Lethality regardless.
Now they do, because they see the Scuttle Crab on that little control ward as the ping come out.
That good WA, but now he's got to deal with Mayos, and he is a very strong Kazakh.
That was really well played by Mayo there. He got Zed down to really low health, and it's like, yeah, I could just get this last auto in to kill him, but then Zed ults, and then Kazakh can walk away from tower and then get the auto immediately after that. And in a different world, that's one of those Zed highlight montages, but it was really well played.
That's a little bit of a panic R. Trying to dodge the damage, but you're not really getting out of that one in any way, shape, or form. Kazakhs, at the very least, just waiting on the W quit on LeBlanc, has distortion coming back up. It's an overpush. That's DC'd by Rekko, and that is yet another kill in the mid.
Because Lilia is forced to hold that mid wave in the face of the pushing LeBlanc, it's a free Rift Herald.
Yep, so he gets 2 objectives, not even the trade.
It will immediately get cashed out into the pockets of Big Man Darius in the top lane.
Yeah, Purist looking for the engage here. Exhaust is down. Kazakhs has the damage. Finally, Glacial Fissure comes through. Stun. Lands after many auto attacks. Fox to get in. looking for the grenade, can't find it just yet, and Explode My Clone now 1 versus 2 in the bottom lane. Riggy, though, joining the fray. Explode My Clone going very low. Ulti available for Riggy, using the clone to block one shot of the Jhin ultimate. The box is going to try to soak up Flora, and a shot on the ultimate will secure it. Meanwhile, mid lane, the 1v1 continues. Death Mark is down. Flash away from the chase from Pizzad as it ignites on both sides, sticking lower and lower. LeBlanc grabs the clone, distorts forward, looking for Pizzad. Wait on cooldowns. Death Mark now used. I thought he used it earlier. Apparently, it was just a shadow, and that should be enough.
But there's
Pizzad grabs the kill.
Ooh, shadow comes up just in time to get over that wall.
Yep. Comp lane and flash had to be burned. Now going for the re-engage. Riggy
time.
Onto the Kha'Zix. Finds the shutdown. Just the Eep gonna be enough to really secure that one. Still get the assist from Pizzad, but no further help required.
Very well fought back from Team Lethality on all ends. Luckily, Comic Badger does not die on the vein, so still managed to stay alive. And will not... Did lose a bit of farm, and they are down that one turret plate in bot lane. But you did get the entirety of the first turret, plates included, in the top lane. And it most likely all went into the pockets of Darius, so he is going to be very dangerous. Does have the Stride Breaker. They're just going to be able to get on top of people and slow him down even more as Zad walking back into lane with the Ghost Blade. No Mythic Rush, just going Ghost Blade for the active, most likely.
Yep, ooh, Rekko looking for a crab steal. It'd be a little bit cheeky. And now looking for possibly the re-engage. Explode My Clone. Slow comes down, Unbreakable comes up. And just disengage from both sides as everyone piling into the river pretty much immediately to rotate to help out these jungglers.
And now this is definitely a big problem for
Kha'Zix.
Yogurt.
Finds red buff, stolen away from Riggy. Doesn't want to contest the Kha'Zix alone. Prowler's Claw forward, finds the damage so far. Still isolated. The flash not going to matter. And Meso dips away with the shadow. Pizzad outplayed, outskilled. Individually now Rekko looking for the kill. There comes the root, the chains, the kill. Meso. Meos, sorry. Grabs another one with the outplay. And now it might be the dive to boot as Fox again possibly in trouble. No minions, but no minions.
I don't think they should dive this.
No, this is probably an oversave. Glacial Fissure is available. It is going to be a rough one.
Mundo and Darius both have TP, but I think it's worth it to just definitely slow push that in and like force them to stick under there and get ready for the dragon. Ooh, turret plate. Yeah, full turret plate money onto Vayne as well.
That's what you like to see.
Pretty good.
29 seconds here before this next dragon spawns.
Something very unfortunate is this ever-widening CS gap in the top lane, as Herald must have gotten a charge into the tier 2, because that is a low HP turret. And because Darius can reset a bit earlier, he should just be walking right down to the dragon pit.
Oh, Meos in trouble. Drowsy comes through, as well as the curtain call. Glacial Fissure finds 2. Explode My Clone, trying to block some shots. Blocks him well. Meos is alive. Lord Nighter now coming in to find his reset. Starts to get one yet interference. Sends moving forward. Has to flash away with the AoE. Gonna do it dirty as Rekko comes over the wall. Double distortion in. Looking for the kill onto the jungler. Can't find it yet. Will just go all the way back. And Zad with the Death Mark able to find one onto Cosmic Badger. Lord Nighter now trying to fight. Grabbing some healing off of the Q. Meos invisible. Rekko though grabs Pizzad. Meos looking for
Prowler's Claw.
Prowler's Claw forward. Fox getting solo, but there's no isolation damage just yet. The Mundo goes down. The double kill over to the Kha'Zix. So one more on to Rekko, and a full 4 for nothing, or 4 for 1, I believe, over to the side of Team Lethality.
Realistically, I think Meos went in a bit too early on that fight. It did, because Darius could have easily just walked down and they could have been ready for the dragon, but gets caught out there a bit by the Braum and the Jhin, so it forces the Darius TP, but in the end, it all works out. They get a bunch of kills, they get the dragon, and they get a lot of money.
Yeah, that kind of blows it open. It was initially just a 2k gold lead. Nothing too insurmountable for the side of Team Lethality, and now it's
on everyone but
Monarchs.
Shaco.
Yeah, Monarchs going up
That's pretty good.
Quite big, 4K gold lead almost fine. Yeah, just 4. It goes back down now. The CS is getting picked up, but still.
Yeah.
Mayos here for that again, and
Trip that.
just gonna pick that one up. And
This Kha'Zix is very scary.
Yep. Unlike last game, I mean, you had Team Lethality relying a lot on their team fighting to bring them through a lot of engagements in the early game. Still some very close ones as well. This time, neither team really sporting the team fighting style of play as Monarchs. Do have lead for now. Turning the bot side, Glyph used. Does find its way onto Explode by Clone, who...
I think if that W lands, Jin tries to open fire.
Yep, Riggy. Looking for the ultimate. Ignites down. There comes the E1 down. And the shutdown with his hourglass will survive. And it's a solo kill in the mid lane for Riggy.
Some Lilia mechanics there.
Oh, but can Mayos find it? Zad is back. He will find some shurikens, but not enough damage to go in full-heartedly.
But this does open up Rift Herald to number 2 because Lilia is forced to walk away from the ever-present Kha'Zix.
Yeah, definitely can't be checking in with that kind of an HP bar and no
And
hourglass.
realistically, this should just go mid lane. Get rid of mid lane tier 1. Gives Kha'Zix way more opportunities to be walking through the jungle. Allows you to maybe establish more priority towards this bot lane and get some more dives down. And just snowball your lead further. Because you've got the mythic advantage in basically every role.
Ooh, the Root comes through and explode by Clone as he didn't do. Let's pop down the Ignite very early. It's because Ben's coming up the back. Good 4-shot damage on Jacob. Gonna pop the curtain call, looking for a very elusive target. But he's getting blocked.
The conga line!
And that will secure it to Dad. In trouble. Chain's going to connect with a distortion. But 2 shurikens land, and Reiko, knowing the death mark is up, is just going to disengage for now. No ulti available here for Lilia just yet. Clone Clone on the Purist, and Reiko will get damage as Mayos in. Blue smited. No damage down yet. Clone my Clone's clone going to go up and smoke. As Mayos going back in. Riggy isolated. Good stopwatch, and he full completed it before the Mythic, and now the shutdown onto the enemy jungler. Good Glacial Fissure onto the Vayne, who can't get out. Cosmic Badger in trouble as well. Like going to pop. As Purist able to secure the Braum passive. Clone by Clone comes back around the other way. Ulti's still available. Riggy pops the drowsy. He's gonna buy the time. Yep, triple kill over to Riggy as the AP jungle popping off yet again. So Dad trying to buy some time. Good death mark. Buys the shutdown as well with the re-engage off the E. It goes right back into turret. Click the minions to boot. And suddenly Team Lethality back in the game from 4K down to just 1,000. Although Zad, dodged the chains. That could have been dangerous.
I think this is what I was talking about a bit in between the games. It's the ability to show the restraint. Sure, you're an 8-kill Kha'Zix with a 2-item lead. That doesn't mean you should go in on everything.
Yeah, go. Good distortion.
Ooh.
Riggy just gonna flash smite. Good job. Secures the kill. And
Yeah.
now Lilia is
Really well
the Fed. I forgot that was Windows auto attack animation on turrets. Him just bashing his head against it. Gives me a good chuckle. Ripchild maybe some of the bot lane is not necessarily where you want it to be.
Bot lane is also a really good one to do because it allows you to split push along the map a bit better.
Yeah, I would have liked to still see it mid.
Well, yeah, but if it had to be anywhere, bot lane is a good secondary
It's not bad.
option.
It's just not optimal. Just slow my clone. Walking up. W finds its way onto the Kha'Zix, so he's spotted out.
And this is gonna be a soul point fight for Team Monarch here. Teleports are up, but Kha'Zix is just DPSing this thing down.
Yeah, I mean,
insanely fast.
There hasn't really been a good timing here from Team Lethality on these dragons. Pretty much the entire game, they have not really cared. Even last game, they got them more just out of, hey, this is on the map, we're ahead, let's go for it. So,
yeah, and
gonna have to deal with soul-pointed Monarchs. Just certainly not something you want to deal with macro.
Honestly, being on soul point against a champion like Zed is really good because it's Mountain Soul. You can get that extra shield. Sleepy time
Ulti coming
onto
in.
the vein.
This might be the overextender. There's 4 members here. He does find the kill immediately. Monarchs not quick enough on the collapse. Leos doesn't want to go in just yet. Change misses from Recco. He's getting attacked again. Gale Force under, not going to find the execute just yet. Foxageddon takes the thing as Mayo's still off on this flank, waiting for someone to watch a little bit too far, and it's going to be Foxageddon. Jumps onto the peel away from Zed. The death mark is on him, but can he find the circus? Yes, he can. The damage is there. That's a kill and a 4th shot for another Foxageddon. Gets exploded by Clones. Recco going forward, flashes into the wall to avoid some damage. The mid-lane turret will go down as well as 2 kills over Team Lethality. Going back up. Okay, Recco.
Team Lethality's got
he
it
wants
now.
his kill on Foxageddon so bad. He's looking for the distortion, but Purist looking to block, doesn't find the Q. And now Recco just posturing up, making sure Foxageddon cannot pressure anymore in this lane. Meanwhile, all while this is going on. Ooh, Recco tagged Glacial Fissure. Double distort out with the Ignite so he can't get tagged anymore. Is Pizzad coming with the Yomus.
Running.
Oh, can he run past up? Yeah, he's fine. Get more distortions up. And like I was saying, meanwhile, all in one, Lord Niter. Who cares about your team? Just split push for days, man. 194 farms, securing bot lane tier 2 by himself.
Yeah. There he is. Gonna be able to be Slivers. No one can really 1v1 him with the Strikebreaker and the Stair Axe under his belt. Maybe Lilia. Maybe Lilia can. We'll find out right here.
Not if Lilia gets E'd into the mix. Riggy gonna have to find his way out of this one in a hurry. He's already got all 5 attacks forward and the execute before the CC comes through.
That
Lord
is
Niter
big money into the Darius.
And this might be a problem for him now, though, as Yoga on Floor and Pizzad coming through. Has no help, but that will be the Baron. Which is certainly going over to Monarchs. And Lord Niter, maybe even without intending to, train the game.
Oh
Pizzad going down, going low. Will the passive get him? It just Darlow might Fox and getting the kill, and it does! Pizzad goes down, and it essentially ended up being a 1v4. Lord Niter comes out with 2.
That's when you type in the hashtag worth in all chat.
Absolutely.
4 people come down to kill you as you watch your evolved Q Kha'Zix and Vayne DPSing down the Baron. You're looking at your clock watch and you're saying, yep, worth it.
Yeah.
And now with the Baron, you can...
Purist is all alone. There's the damage coming through. He's a tank, but not for long, as Recco is the beneficiary of that one. Not enough vision to be checking in here. Maybe thought they went for a reset after taking the big purple worm, but not so fast as Riggy and Foxageddon need to be careful here. Mayos in behind the turret. Does fall. Sonya's Hourglass to dodge out of the distort damage, but now distorts back forward, gets the condemn, gets the change, and Recco finding that one as Deathmark comes down on a Cosmic Badger. The Gale Force forward is secure for Foxageddon. Zad also out. As here comes the curtain call, looking for the re-engage for Yogurt on floor. Distortion away to buy some more time. 4th shot doesn't connect onto Mayos. That will just be...
That was a really good LeBlanc play from Recco onto Riggy on the Lilia. Force the Zanyas immediately with the distortions in and out, and then you just pop back after the Reaper.
Oh, explode my clone, my P, and so you should have baited these other 2 traps, and still...
Burn the Guardian.
Risky move there. Just,
you burn Guardian. It's like a 30-second cooldown. That's worth it.
And again, Lord Niter still split pushing top lane.
Having a good time. What else can we say? He's gotten a lot of turrets to himself.
3 turrets to his name right now. Pretty much.
And
one had the Herald.
It's also going to be the tier 2 mid lane.
Yeah, I mean the Baron pressure being used very, very effectively from Monarchs. Explode my clone does get tagged by the Q. Glacial Fissure looking for Lord Niter as he is alone, but he might get the reason he needs. There comes the Sleepy Time. The stun is here, looking for the Braum passive, but there's just no one with auto attacks to proc it. And in the backline, Recco doing a lot of damage. Lord Niter burning down the Leandres. Might just claim him finally. Shutdown comes through his Mayos into the backline. The Assassin's looking for Fox again. Joe very low, and there's the shutdown for Recco as the distortion comes through, but Zed on Zed. Able to grab the shutdown for Riggy. Yogurt on floor going to be kited away from his Mayos. Not able to be contested yet. And this is with Dragon up in 10 seconds. It's a 1-for-2, but the AD carries him fully down. Yogurt on floor finds Mayos in the enemy jungle. Does pop the ultimate. Mayos grabs the smite, looking to get away. Blocks the cleaver with Gromp. It drops so very low, but a Yoga on 4 can grab before it can be secured. Now Cosmic Badger in some trouble. Riggy here as well. Shaco just gonna abandon the 80 carry. Says, nope, I'm good, man. I'll see you later and go for the steal. Peace out, I'm over the wall. Goes right back in with the clone, trying to do some extra damage onto the jungler.
Doing a lot of damage, though.
Oh, another box.
Oh my god, the Shaco!
And now, TP in from Lord Knighter has a lot of low HP bars.
It's never ending.
You can't leave if you're on the side of TL. You have to fight the dragon. It's the soul. You just can't get out as Pierce going back in, gonna try to stack the pass, but again, it's just the Braum who's gonna stack it. Lord Knighter's still there. Sterix, back off cooldown as well. The dragon still very high on the HP bar, but meanwhile, Jin ulti pops the Sterix, grabs the blast over, pulls back in two, has the Q healing, will he get the resets? One in down, but he doesn't get another one off as he's immediately taken out by Pizzad, and now the rest of Monarchs trying to get in here.
They got the Mountain Drake.
Still secured, and after all that, soul is avoided by Team Lethality.
Oh my lord. How insane.
It is an absolute party in all aspects. And we are, after all that, still at the exact same gold deficit we were at before, just shy of 2K.
Yep.
Oh, Rekko, look for soul kill. Oh, the damage! Pizzad trying to go back in to fight some more, but...
Try to outplay. But
yeah,
LeBlanc's got a lot of damage now.
Yeah.
Has Luden and the Lighting Jewel, the component for Void Staff, along with the Hourglass. This LeBlanc is dangerous now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, mid lane turret does fall down. Able to secure.
We can do a bit more math. How many MR items are there on the side of Team Lethality?
Currently speaking...
2.
2, yeah.
Well,
I forgot.
post mythic for the tank. And once LeBlanc gets about 400 more gold, that'll be a Void Staff. And that'll be a lot of extra damage.
Yeah, might have even would like to see her just go straight for the Rabadons this game, given the competition. Trying to find his way on a Riggy, doesn't find too much damage. Distortion can be done away from the Lord Knighter here, flashing in. Finds the Stride Breaker, finds the pull. The Glacial Blizzard gonna buy a little more time as well as the Taker Boxer. Sleep coming down, but Riggy and Purist on the wrong side of the rift. Lord Knighter still with the Sterix to Brock is Brock to get in some trouble. Cosmic Badger is here. The Jin not long for the rift.
Just running around.
Yep, and Lord Knighter finds another double pull, another double Q. The Braum pass that finally stacked up. The resets though are there as Ricky finds one.
Oh no!
Zanya's isolation gets the double though anyway.
Oh my god.
Watch out, not gonna find his way into Mayos.
There's 7 different fights going on here. I'm trying to keep up with too many of them.
Yeah, it ends up being just Yoga 4 who comes out of that one unscathed. Pizzad dies in the backside as well. Rekko, the man who started it all, still comes out alive and well, and now able to start pushing up towards this mid lane inhibitor turret. Has a little bit more time.
Really playing up LeBlanc's trickster identity to the max there.
Yep.
What's going on? And they finally get this mid lane tier 2 that's been assailing them for so long. And now, realistically, you have the choice. You can either be setting up around Baron, trying to be baiting them into a fight there, and then taking Baron, or play it slow, keep amassing some more gold, and then you get Mountain Soul. That is a choice that the Monarchs will have to make amongst themselves, because either one is a completely viable play.
What I think we'd both like to see now, is something that we don't see a lot of teams do at this point in the game, is Monarchs, you have a 3k gold lead, start pushing into the blue side top jungle here and getting vision, but it meanwhile, yeah, just give me the overextend, so that might be the call for Baron for the side of Team Lethality is Mayos with no team help. Cosmic Badger also in trouble, rooted up, stunned up, taken down momentarily by the burn damage, finally comes through, and overextended everywhere as Rekko goes back in. Stun comes through, Zanya's Hourglass as well, ZW is there, the shutdown, and I guess Team Lethality just gets the Baron now.
Time.
I guess Team Lethality just gets the Baron now.
Yeah. It's sleepy time for Shaco.
Yep, Riggy, I hope he doesn't flash over for this with the Baron started, but he will. He will get exploded by clone as well as the clone. Darius meanwhile still pushing in bot lane. Mundo's still gonna do that, but that needs to get out of the Baron pit. will be able to be secured before he dies. So Window gets yeah.
I guess Team Lethality has Baron now.
Cue the clown car music because we
Oh,
are
man.
in a fiesta, ladies and gentlemen.
Gotta love some clown cars.
This is the clown car music kind of game, as we do have to have Blue now reinvest a lot of their vision into this bottom side so they can check in for Mountain Soul in just 30 seconds time. Fox getting currently not with the team, so a lot of their burst damage not yet there. Jin fairly strong now on the 3 items, has the Lord Dominic's regard.
Yeah, gonna be doing a lot of damage to a champion like Darius, who's almost full build, actually. That's gonna be really scary.
Note, Lilia are not available. No 5-man sleep to be had here.
T-minus 10 seconds.
5 seconds. The question is, do they know where...
Do they know
Mayos
where the
is?
Kha'Zix is?
Mayos and Rekko are the two that they have to
They've
know the
just
locations of
seen
before this fight starts. They
Kha'Zix.
find explode my clone. They delete that
The
before the
clone
fight starts.
did explode.
Yes, there'll be no trickery here. Leave the CL4, Lord Knight finds his way onto Reggie, still trying Zaragoza. This climb right now, Reggie is not going to find too much. Rekko able to control over it. Good! 2-man sleep, and that's the block down. The kill for Reggie is Fox again does find one before being executed by the Kha'Zix Ring. Trying to kite away, but a double kill already over to the Lilia. Cosmic Badger as well falling down to Pizzad. Mayos flashing in, looking for the kill, flashed away from again. The stun comes through off the pass, and then it's a double kill. Over to Pizzad, the Dragon as well. Soul prevented, and a full ace for Team Lethality. And finally, the back and forth game starting to see some signs of a
The
clear
seesaw
shot
is
win.
starting to be a bit crazy here. It's going to be that point when your kids and you're on the seesaw and one of the kids just goes really high and then it just completely flips the entire gravity. That's what we're looking at right here.
Yep, we should be able to
One
see.
turret.
I think they could push for inhibitor if they want to. It does look like
They
they just
could
gonna
have.
settle for tier 2 with the Baron right now.
Yeah,
Pillage the village of
take what you can get.
Monarchs. Yep, just gonna grab the blue buffs, grab the camp, constrict as much gold out of red as humanly possible. And then we have a very long lull state about to come up. Hopefully.
3.5 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, before the next objective.
Yep. And hopefully in that time, because as we can see, Darius is almost at full build. I believe that's going to be that's either a Death Dance or a Cleaver, right? 'Cause I believe Cleaver builds out of Caulfield now.
I couldn't tell you.
I personally would go something like Gargoyles for that giant shield that scales with your bonus HP.
Yeah, especially when you are just building tank carriers. Ooh, Drowsy
Loopy
comes
time.
down. Nowhere for Comic Badger to go. Does find the condemn, but Riggy is very tanky on this Lilia with all these hell items. And Fox getting with the Gale Force and able to grab the kill. And that might be the pick that TL can use to just push down
Riggy
this
is
mid lane.
very
Everyone else has
tanky,
to reset.
but
Everyone's back
also-
deep.
The Vayne is very slow
Yeah.
with the Rylai's on the Lilia. And
With
now
only 2 items and 1 and 9 as well, Comic Badger does not.
is going
even
to be
really
getting the whip
effective.
end. So there is that.
It's
It probably won't
Still,
do
I
a
think, a
lot
little
in the
too
grand
little too
scheme
late
of
here.
things.
good switch of objectives here. Tier 2 top finally is secured as the entirety of Monarchs, which was all set up actually around Lord Knight or split pushing, has to move back up here towards the top side of the map.
Because that's the thing where you're like, oh, they sent a lot of people to deal with the Darius split push a while ago. Maybe they'll do the same. And then boom, we collapse and we kill them and we run down the bot lane. But Team Lethality's playing a bit too smart for that. Where they're like, okay, we don't want to deal with the split pusher. If we all go in mid lane, they're forced to fight us. And getting the kill on the Vayne is the cherry on top there.
Yep. Grabs in the top lane. Tier 2 can't still siege onto that inhibitor just yet. Probably waiting for that next Baron
I like
to come
the
up.
Guardian Angel pickup from Jin after dying to Kha'Zix so many times.
Kha'Zix, LeBlanc,
And now as
yeah.
Kha'Zix, you're like, well, Jin was my target. That is very slippery in these chaotic team fights.
And Lily is too tanky.
Yeah. So now it's like, well, what does the Kha'Zix do now? You spam evolved W from a range and hope that you do something.
Yeah, you're just going to be sitting on the flank waiting for that one member to
Or
get caught out, wait for the fight to get chaotic and soupy enough for you to find somebody. And he's going to be able to find Yogurt on board, but that's not really an opponent that he really wants to check into.
He's doing
Does a
pretty
little bit
decent
damage. Has
damage.
Lord Niter. He's not going to land. Has the ultimate, but yeah, Yogurt on board. Healing quite a bit back. Does not have the survivability as the ulti comes through, but now Curtain Call looking for the re-engage. Mayo gets hit with the 4th shot. He's going very low, but the Yomu should give him enough movement speed with the ultimate to get away.
That's
That's
really good.
Pick. Very good pick.
That's essentially a free kill. No one else dies. Your Vayne is getting free farm in the top lane. And it's really free farm because everyone from Team Lethality had to walk to the bot side to try and maybe catch out the Darius and Kha'Zix after they kill Mundo. So that's some free money over to the Vayne. As that's... You can't realistically predict that both Darius and Kha'Zix are going to be down there. Like, especially with Baron coming up really soon, if that fight takes a bit longer, then Kha'Zix isn't there for the Baron. But Kha'Zix is here for this Baron.
Still 6 seconds on Yogurt on 4, does have the TP available though. Baron though going to go down
Very
quickly with Comic Badger. From behind, the Vayne still does quite a bit of damage to the big purple worm. However,
the Vayne is also dying very quickly to the Lilia. You said the bowling balls aren't going to do a lot of damage.
Well, it does not. It still procs Leon. It still procs Demonic. I mean, you're still getting the item damage.
I watched Vayne's shield bow get immediately procced.
And we might have a conundrum appearing here as the problem from earlier of the soul point for Monarchs, the early soul point, possibly swaying the decision here of Team Lethality. They want to contest the Baron, but as well, they have to be careful that someone doesn't go down and claim the soul, and that's just what Lord Niter's thinking of doing. The Darius has been on his lonesome all game. He's going to continue trying to do that. Going for this Mount
clone
break.
Is going to deal a lot of damage.
Oh, Rekko looking for Zad. Goes in Zonya's going to immune that death mark as Mayo's trying to find a kill into somebody. Gets drowsed up by Riggy, who's going over. Grabs
Darius
the kill with
is
the Dark
doing
Harvest.
soul point though.
Yeah, Darius is doing soul, so it's still perfectly fine for Monarch, but still getting the Mountain Soul. And that's going to be a huge boon in the coming Baron push, because that's going to go down to try to see if try to ward Darius off. But yeah, it's way too late with no death mark. He can't even go for any type of engage. So it's Baron for soul. I'm not sure how well it's going to be worth unless we see Team Lethality finally push into this inhibitor and finally go for some kind of ending play.
One of the big problems is that Jhin, he does do a lot of damage because he's only allowed the 4 shots. But if Monarch can get the wave clear off...
Has the... Yeah, ultimate doesn't do anything, buddy. I'm sorry. That's an AoE. Pierce will burn down a little bit, but should be generally okay. Probably going to take a reset here. Meanwhile, mid lane, I mean, this Baron has to turn into something. They did
stall. They've stalled enough time for Kha'Zix and LeBlanc to come back, so...
Yeah, this is a Baron you can't waste away.
You can't really do much with it immediately. Can't do anything with it immediately. But now, both of the super buffs are literally just 2 seconds apart from each other. And that's gonna be game ending right there.
Yep.
Baron empowered recall OP.
Yeah, it would have been very bad getting
out of that dangerous predicament.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to see something happen out of this Team Lethality Baron now. They've given over the Mountain Soul. They've given over such a huge buff against these assassin players, and Jhin especially, who is characteristically bad against any other combat match. Yeah, I mean, he's just dead. Doesn't get through, yeah, secures most of that damage, then Mark's gonna finish him off. TP in here from Darius, this might be a bit of a problem, but Lord Niter, very strong, does have the Glacial Fissure, gonna take him out. Rekko, look at her fucking on the back, shows that GA, remember.
Really good flash out
away with the flash, and Lord Niter still healing up. Oh, but in the backline, Jhin in trouble. Mayos found him with the ultimate. Now resurrected the GA, as Rekko can't do anything. Rigo's Godlight finds a sleep onto... My clone finally goes down for the double kill. Lord Niter still being pursued, but it is not enough as Mayos. Just gonna try to clear out these Baron means from the backside. But that very low. Flash into Starbreaker. Gets 2 on the reset, looking for a third. Stays to keep alive now. Healing going through. Finds a third on the triple. Are we looking for the quadra? Lord Niter barely surviving.
One more kill.
Yoga trying for it. Finally secures, but it's the defense. It's the 5-piece. It's the ace. Mayos survives.
Oh my god.
And Arc holds on. And let me tell you, if that Mountain Soul isn't there, it's a wipe the other way.
That's game. I think it's safe to assume that PZZ wasn't expecting the Stride Breaker to just kill him out right there, but it does, and then Darius can constantly get Triumph and then the Q healing. And the thing is, they're using a lot to kill this Vayne, but it's a 3-item Vayne, and we're
1 in
40
10,
minutes in.
3-item Vayne. Who might be able to chip away at an inhibitor turret here, depending on who comes up first.
Oh my god.
Yep, 2 minutes and 50 seconds though for all the buffs though, so we're still gonna be here for a little bit longer now that there's no more Baron push, and I mean that's the end of the advantage for
That's
Team
it.
Lethality. Yeah, I mean the Mountain Soul's over. You did nothing with your Baron. You got
Jin
inhibitor
sold
turret.
his GA to get the Infinity Edge and then rebought the chain. That I think that's very smart because your GA.
I think he should have rebought the Hourglass over the chain vest.
That's fair, but also like your GA.
Unless I guess if you
not
rebuy it, I
gonna
think it's
be
still
up.
broken. I shouldn't say that. I think if you
Your
rebuy it,
GA
it's
is
still
not
broken.
going to be up for either of the fights, and you can sell that, get Infinity Edge, and then you can still be sitting on the armor. So
Yeah.
that's a very, very heads-up play that realistically not a lot of people would think to do in a game state as tight as this, where both of the game-ending neutral objectives are up at literally the same time.
Yep, Fox again as well.
There's just
You're going to need to be very careful with Kurt and Call in this coming fight so he doesn't get picked off by the Kha'Zix. Meanwhile, Purist getting
One
picked off
man
here. Mayos is here, and
though.
that's... Yeah, you're not very taking when you're isolated. Riggy now getting engaged upon by Lord Knighter. Do they have the damage to kill this Darius? Do they have the
There's
damage
the
to kill the
stone
Menace?
plate.
Pizzazz certainly doesn't. Rekko grabs that, kills Riggy. Healed away. Mayos going in, has the GA as well, so no fear, no respite, no rest for the righteous as he pops the GA as well. Double kill over to the Kha'Zix. Yogaron for the last Bastion standing in. It will not be enough. Comic Badger secures his second kill of the game for the ace, for the base. With death timers over 30 seconds of pop,
Remember,
the 110 power spike for Vayne, that will finally, eventually
like
be
10
the
minutes
game.
ago, I talked about how if Darius can get stone plate, that's the giant shield for him in the team fight. He sells his boots to get it, and then he just tanks up everything as the one-man sweep onto the LeBlanc lasagna is not the best as Team Monarch managed to push and pull and win.
Yep, the Nexus falls, the curtains close, the ringleader says go home, the circus is over.
43.5.
Monarchs tied up 1-1.
Whew.
Yeah.
That was the very definition of a back and forth game, I feel like.
Yeah, that was definitely that was a something.
There was
That was
a lot going on.
Some would say the greatest show on earth, as a reference to some other aspects.
Would you believe it or not? That's
yeah,
no,
yeah, I probably would. In any
crazy
event,
game.
very well played. Monarchs staying in it to the last.
Monarch definitely showing that just losing that first game in such a fashion, they just throw it back. It's like, okay, you guys did Diana Yasuo, cool. We can pick Kha'Zix. And then, realistically, the Kha'Zix early game snowball really gave them the early lead. Unfortunately, there were a bit of stumbles in the mid game concerning getting a bit overly ahead.
Rekko, I think Rekko was one of the big ones. I think became a lot less effective as the game continued
Yeah,
forward.
well,
Just kind of died a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, give that's
but
just,
that
that's
gets
how LeBlanc
refined
goes.
with time. That gets refined with time. You know, you learn to be like, hey, we're this far ahead. We realistically shouldn't be just trading our lives away for random shutdowns worth thousands of gold.
Yeah.
But that all comes with time.
I mean, Niter, props to Niter for this second game especially. Pretty much the only thing for a long period of time keeping his team in the game. Of course, it is Mayos who eventually came up to be the prominent figure in the late game.
I would like to point something out.
Niter's the reason that game is a W if you're on the side
I would like to point out
Monarchs.
that Team Monarch ended the game with a total team gold of 77,777. They hit the jackpot. I cannot
Lucky
make
number
this up.
7, baby. Lucky
I am
number
literally
7.
staring at the end game screen and it's 77777.
Lucky number 7.
That Would you believe that?
No, I would
That's
not
the
believe
thing.
that is always impressive whenever it occurs.
Exactly.
Ah, jeez. And the deficit too. 78K was the gold lead for Team Without. And of course, this is this
Got
point in the game.
50 gold from the Nexus kill.
Yeah, of course. At this point in the game, that like 100 gold or 1,000 gold or something doesn't matter at all.
Realistically, the goal difference is all in the 80 carries items.
Yeah, that was pretty much
Which,
the only diff.
I mean, what good is being 5,000 gold up as Jin versus Vayne when Jin just will die instantly in the fight?
Yep.
Because, like,
Absolutely.
realistically, the Team Lethality was wasting a lot on Vayne in, like, that 20 to 35-minute mark. That, of course, she's just going to constantly get put down a lot. But at some point, Vayne is going to get wise to everything, and then they can free fire. And as long as there's really no one threatening the Vayne, which at some point you have to say as a team, guys, this Vayne is not as big of a problem as other people on the team. But then when that happens, the Vayne can be a problem. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it was a bit too big of tunnel vision, I feel.
Possibly a little bit in the late game. You're definitely looking on more stuff like the cause. Of course, a lot of these picks were pretty easy. It's just how many resources do you actually want to spend on killing the Vayne? Like, I don't think you use Lily R at that point in the game to kill Vayne. I don't think you need to use Jin ulti to kill the Vayne. I think one of the biggest problems that was faced on the side of Team Lethality in the late game was playing around the Jin. The Jin was actually, Foxcam was quite strong in the late stage of the game. Already had those 4 item completions, had the GA for a while. Then had to resell it to complete the Infinity Edge, of course. But playing around Jin when he puts up the curtain call, even Purist was diving forward into the enemy team, trying to get engages, trying to find good glacial fissures, and all that's well and good. But, I mean, once your Jin is down in these later stages of the game, Lord Niter's not going to die. There's no one to kill Lord Niter. There's no one to burst down Mayos. It's just not.
Especially once he sold his boots for the stone plate, and the stone plate just is massive on these bruisers who get like at least 1,000 in their bonus health.
A little more coordination was definitely, I think, something that if you're looking from a Team Lethality point, Game 2, working on for some of these team fights, yes, they were very messy team fights. Yes, they were very chaotic team fights. But, I mean, a priority once you get a 4-item Jin, even if he's not, the gigantic, 19-7 Riggy on Lilia who's killing people, Jin's still going to do a lot of damage with 4 items regardless of his score. That's just how the champion plays. He scales up amazingly into the later part of the game. We saw that when the Kai'Sa Jin was the matchup a while back where Kai'Sa won the lane really hard and then Jin just one-shot everybody later. It's the same basic premise, so something for if you're on the side of Team Lethality to look at next game is like, hey, let's work on, hey, what do we need to do in team fights when we go into it? What are we thinking? We're thinking of getting a pick and we have to defend our AD carry. We know that Kha'Zix goes for him. We know that Rekko's going to go for him. They have 2 assassins. Okay, we have a Braum. We have a fantastic melee defensive champion.
Standing on top of Jin's model at all times.
Yep.
Because you get the Guardian, you get the Braum shield, and then Braum can immediately just snap and use the Glacial Fissure into his Q, and then you stun the assassins, you CC them, and they die.
Yep.
But again, it's refining. It's week 1. We expect some mistakes. It's the nature of League of Legends.
To be refined later on. We do have an interview here. So we're going to grab in the victory interview from Lord Niter for game 2. Pop him over the caster's chat. Okay, and I'll switch so our cameras are no longer completely screwed here in just a second. Okay. All right, Lord Niter. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Congratulations on the game 2. I have to unlock. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. I will let you cast. All right, there you go. You should be able to talk. Possibly. There you go.
Hello? Hey, yo.
Yep. All right. There we go. We're working now. I had to give you the role.
Yeah.
All right, Lord Niter, welcome. Congratulations on the game 2 comeback. It was a absolute fiesta, to put it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that was not. I would not call that in good conscience, clean League of Legends by either side. However, very well done on the victory. The Niter V9 performance on the Darius in the mid to late game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really happy about that.
What is it with PSU Darius players?
True.
They're just built
You
different.
are you the next of a very long line of Darius highlight reels that I'm going to annoy people with by putting them in videos too much?
I'm just like here to build a rep, honestly. I build
You're
a
here
rep.
straight up for the clout.
Yeah,
Gotta
I think
respect it.
I think building a rep is really good. Getting experience against these players, will help me a lot. Help me on my goal to get challenger. Eventually I'll get there. And being in the LCS, being captain, it's good experience. So pretty happy about it.
Certainly so. Now you guys did have a bit of a rough game one. It was not close.
That was so horrible. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was
That was
a little bit of a rough go. So I mean, that's a hard for a first game of the season, especially with a team that I'm not sure how much you guys have scrimmed or practiced at all together. Did you guys do any like 5 stacks at all on like flex queue or norms before this game? Or
we
just,
did
like,
some today,
okay,
but
so you did a
the
little
biggest
bit.
issue is we're playing with a lot of subs,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna have to kind of restart in a way next week because we're not gonna have the same mid laner and bot lane, and our support's gonna go up to being a jungler. So that's gonna be fun.
I don't know. Is your actual support is Mayos your actual support
Well,
or was going to the
yeah,
jungler?
yeah, he was the
I'll say
support,
because I don't know.
but he's
I don't know. The
I
jungle
mean,
looked pretty good
he
on
did
Kha'Zix. The
pretty
Kha'Zix
good
looks
this
pretty
game,
good.
so
he is probably one of the most insane Kha'Zix players I ever met.
I'll say his
He is,
Kha'Zix looked pretty good.
yeah, he used to be like really, really good on Kha'Zix. Now he's just like playing everything, Hearthstone gold trash, I'm gold too. I'm gold trash too. It's whatever. Gold again. So
Yeah, represent.
I gotta rep.
but yeah,
Gotta get my
it's
boy in here.
one of
So
the big things, especially since it's round robin, but it's best of two for this, is the ability to sort of look at things that go right and or go wrong in a game one and then be able to adjust that into a game two scenario. So is that sort of the inspiration behind just saying, okay, we can just play champions like Kha'Zix and like the Darius who can sort of excel in a Fiesta-like game where a lot of things can go crazy at once, and these are the champions that sort of excel in that. Is that something that goes into planning after you lost game one, or was it just spur of the moment? Like, nah, it's Darius time.
dude, once we saw 6-0 Diana, like Rico was like, "Go next." I'm like, "All right, we're doing it next game." Like, oh, so painful, man. Just like,
I mean, it's
because
game one.
I don't warn a
The
few
draft
times.
diff was definitely real. Not to say it was all doom and gloom. You had a very dominant early mid game, as well as or mid lane as well as top lane. So the solo lanes were doing quite well overall. The bot hemorrhaging is more or less what ended up starting to break the camel's back because you had a composition where it was, hey, if we win lane really hard and we get a lot of
The
early
game's over.
advantages, we get a herald and stuff, we can close out this game in 25, 30 minutes. Probably okay if we have like a 3-4K gold lead in the early game, have a lot of outer turrets, have that soul stacking potential for a 20-minute soul. We should be pretty well off. Irelia is going to have a lot of pressure in the mid lane. Ashe Morgana is really, really oppressive. Shaco does a lot of cool tricks in the jungle from ahead. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working out, and versus a team that Lethality had set up where it was all these big team fight champions that all just want to fight you all the time. As soon as you really fall behind against that as a pick comp, it becomes very, very hard to be able to contest stuff. So that
Oh yeah, for sure.
was definitely a problem.
Every time I went to pressure, Diana was there. The same thing with mid lane. Bot lane had no issue, so Diana just focused us. The bleeding quickly stopped, and they just freaking shoved that axe in our face. Kind of unlucky, but I think having 2 games is really good. Like I think Pierre's team did insanely well, but maybe not the second game. But I think they showed that draft is like really, really important.
I mean,
Like
second
that,
game, I don't think there's a draft. The second game, both those team comps was just like, we're going to fight a lot.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
because
are
Some
going
of
to
the
fight,
comps.
and we're not going to stop fighting, and it's going to be just
yeah,
three-ring circus.
Oh, yeah.
I knew if we faced them head on, like, dude, just give me Enrico power picks and give Bollington more stability. Hey, maybe even put Mayos on jungle. Like, we'll crush them. And we definitely trolled a little bit. It was definitely the biggest fiesta I've seen in a while, but
It
hey, we
won't be
made
the
it work.
last. Don't feel too bad. It definitely won't be the
Don't
last we
worry.
stream. I assure you.
There are so
Oh
many
yeah,
games.
dude, me and Miles are like crazy. We'll make every game a fiesta.
Glad to hear you're at least making saying.
It'll be good content, though.
Yeah, good content. Now I am gonna have to
Yeah.
bid you goodbye here. We are gonna try to get Riggy in here as it is 1-1, so we're gonna do 2 interviews. So we're gonna extend this a
Yeah,
bit more. But hey, thank you for joining me on again. Congratulations on the game 2
Yeah.
comeback. Definitely something you like to see, and good to see. We'll be looking for you guys in the next few weeks and see how many more fiestas we can get out of you.
Oh, yeah.
hell yeah. All right, I'll see you later.
See you, man.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna move Riggy in here in just a second. Move to casters. Okay, Riggy, welcome. Congratulations on the victory in game 1.
Thank you, thank you.
Very cleanly done. Extremely cleanly done in game 1. Game 2, definitely unfortunate.
It was a little less clean.
That was by both teams.
You did fight back
Yeah.
a lot, though, in game 2, which
Yeah.
is very good to see, though.
I think I personally threw at like the inhib fight rather than targeting Kha'Zix. I just kind of ran at the stone plate Darius, who tanked everything.
Yeah, it was a full tank Darius. It was Stridebreaker
Yeah.
Starix in a full tank.
He
It's
did
Yeah.
just
he's a big
sell
boy.
his boots for the stone plate, so you probably weren't expecting it.
Hit him with like 20 Qs.
Yep.
Didn't touch his health bar.
Yeah.
Yep,
But-
that's normally the 80 carries job, buddy. Once you see 3 stack tank items, like I'll leave it to the consistent DPS.
But yes, it still was really well played game 1, and then game 2, the ability to just constantly be throwing the punches back and forth, and managed to crawl into the gold lead several times throughout that game when it was realistically it was looking pretty
It was
dire
doomed at the beginning.
in the
Not
early
so
game.
doomed. Doomed again. Winning.
Some
Very
throws
winning.
happened.
Kind of winning. Doomed again. Winning and then doomed. Was the general course.
Yeah, I
of
definitely
action.
think once we got a grip of our mentals, we played a lot better. And then
Yeah.
stone plate Darius happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly.
still.
If you could take anything away from the game 1, did work out very well in your favor. Jungle
Yeah.
was a complete wash. The lanes, mid lane was a bit rough for quite a while, but I mean,
That's just
You're-
Irelia being
yeah,
Irelia.
contribute that as much to Irelia as you so please. But
You were just completely psychic on the Diana, being able to know exactly where every play was happening.
tracking
And
was
they're
I
very
felt
showing
bad
up
for the
like-
Shaco.
tracking was very
Showing up
clean.
like, yep, this is my kill now. I'll take that money. Thank
Now,
you.
the one question I have, because I always like to do again, you don't have to tell us everything if you don't want to, because keep some secrets to yourself. That's an advantage. But with the game 1 to game 2 idea, game 1, I didn't get to see the draft because I didn't get in the lobby quick enough to see the spectator client. There was a whole bunch of issues with that, as you're aware. But you guys had a very, very definitive. This is how we're going to play the game. This is our win condition. And then as the game moved forward, you played around your win cons very, very well. You played around the
Yeah, we,
Yasuo ulti timer. You played around Diana ulti timer. You played around bot lane having prio or not prio or having the Featherstorm available. You played to engage fights with Ornn first and then do follow-up damage after. It was a very clean, controlled teamfight comp that snowballed out of control. And then we see game 2. And now we have an absolute cluster of we're going to play solo queue. Do we have an identity? Do we really? We were playing Braum Jhin bot lane, which is one of the worst combinations in the entirety of League of Legends in terms of innate synergy. If I can ask, what was the change in mentality with the strategy from game 1 to game 2? Was the bans just
I think-
not really to your favor, or was you just trying something else?
I think game one was a lot easier because their bans were completely troll in my opinion. So like they didn't like scout us at all. Like in our match history, we played a lot of Diana, Yasuo, Xayah, Rakan. So once like we banned out their mid laner, we know they first pick the mid laner. We get Diana, Yasuo. Game's over. They can't do anything. And then like the second game, not gonna lie, the whole drafting process messing up 8 times was really tilting. So like getting back into the game was a little bit difficult. But like we had it and then we threw it. But it happens.
Definitely happens. I still wouldn't be too abstractly disappointed in the 1-1 still pulling out a win, especially your
Yeah.
first game, let alone your first week, is always a good start to have, so you know that, hey, we can beat some teams. It's not all doom and gloom from the get-go, so
Yeah.
yeah, keeping it going and trying to stay competitive is sometimes the best you can do for the first week. Definitely going to be looking forward to see a lot more of you guys. Again, the team fighting, when you guys team fought really, really well, especially when you set yourselves up to do it. So very exciting to see you guys go forward in these next few weeks, for sure. If you run the Lethality comp just because of your namesake, though, I am going to take back that opinion because I don't want to.
I won't.
I just don't.
I think
wanna
my
see that.
Kha'Zix can give what's his face as a run for his money, not gonna lie.
I don't want to see like the Pike, Varus, Zed, Kha'Zix insert
GP.
lethality,
Full-
GP
full-
lethality top. I don't
Full
want to.
squishy GP.
I don't want to see it.
Might have to
I
bring it
do,
out.
but don't listen to me. At least until you're locked in and you're like, okay, we
it's
can
the
mess
locked
around.
playoff games. Like,
Do it in flex, queue a bit, perfect the craft, and then break it out.
PayPal me, then we'll think about it.
All right. Hey man, thank you very much for
Fair.
doing it again. Congratulations
Fair.
on the game one. Very
Thank
clearly
you for
done.
having me.
Really unlucky on the
Yeah.
game two. Very unfortunate turn of events, but hey, hard fought game by both sides. So thank you for
Yeah,
joining us
for
here on the
sure.
casts.
Yep.
Thank you.
That is it for us, I believe, on that side of things. So that is all we have for you guys tonight on the games. Again, congratulations to both teams. Both teams
Yeah.
pulling out a win. Very nice. But we'll go into the
Banger
schedule
game, too.
for tomorrow, as we have a ton of games to play tomorrow. Sunday at 6 p.m. is Mitmock's team versus Rhymes' team. Sunday 8:30 is Krog versus Serpsy's team. Also at 8:30, PetSmart University versus Bleed D. Also at Sunday at 8 is Sigma Iron Grindset versus the Elo Lemmings. Sunday at 8 p.m. as well, CLTR Residence team versus the Only Virus's team. I forgot to change caster things back so you can't see my face. Apologies.
Oh
There
no.
we go. Okay,
Detours
we're
in
back.
chat.
We're back.
There we go.
I keep forgetting that happens because Discord's weird. Anyway, 9 p.m. on Sundays, Monster Energy Team versus the Universe, and Sunday at 9 p.m. as well as PSU Washed, which is a new name change. Whoever changed that in the time between freaking 6 o'clock tonight and now, you're not getting on the graphics because I'm not updating that again. And Maddie
Oh,
B's
no.
team are going to be up for the challenge, although I think Maddie B's team is under a different nomenclature, to my knowledge. So,
That's a lot of games.
a lot of games tomorrow. I'm not sure how many I can cast it because I also have a game tomorrow. Time TBD. So, I might
have
not be
work in
casting a lot of
D&D
these.
tomorrow.
So, we'll see what happens. We'll try to get as many up on stream as we can.
Also, friendly reminder, if you're in the Discord, there may or may not be some people from each of the teams being like, streaming so-and-so POV, where so-and-so is them, and then they link their stream. So even if there is no stream going on the official channel,
Yeah,
you
check
might
out
be able
that,
to get some
self-promo.
POVs.
Self-promo
Yeah.
is the channel in the Discord you can look at. You can probably find some POV streams or just private streams that if someone wants to stream a game not on the main channel will be in
Yep.
self-promo. So check it out.
This is not the only Twitch channel where you will see PSU LCS games, most likely.
No, we can only do so much on the main channel. So
Especially considering the 4 games that are at 8 tomorrow.
yeah, Sunday standard.
We're not
standard
we're
time.
not like
It's standard.
2016 LCS where we
It's
can afford
standard
2
time.
different streams.
It's standard time. We can barely get one stream working together, and I know that because I'm the one screwing it up.
Don't say that. We can't let them know.
Again, I will see if I can cast the Concon Universe game because I do want to cast that game a lot because I think it's going to be a very good game. But I am playing a game tomorrow, probably at standard time, so I'm not going to be able to cast it. So we'll just have to see.
Please,
if you make your
more
game at 4
people-
p.m. tomorrow, I can
More
get.
people who can host and cast wanted.
Well, we got those. We're gonna have the casting meeting hopefully here next week. I have to. It's
Oh,
probably
boy.
gonna, it's probably going to be Monday. I'm gonna have to decide on time for that based on my schedule. But once we do that, we should have a lot more people being able to host and cast games and know what they're
True.
doing. So sorry about that.
Look
It's been a little bit belated, but we're gonna get that going here as soon as we can. But that is it for us tonight. Here, we're gonna keep this a clean 2.5 hour stream time, and we'll
Nice.
see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, back on the Rift.